Hail, I'm back with the HomeBhoys Late podcast. It is Friday, the 14th of August. I'm, of course, Joe McKenna. We are back, joined by two of my esteemed colleagues, Jason Higgins, out there in Wishaw. What's happening, bro?
Hail.
Hail, bro. It's all good. It's all good. Everything is smelled everybody's face this week.
We'll get to that.
Fucking, it's all coming up roses.
Fucking laughing gas.
And of course, the man from the Royal Borough of Rutherglen, Liam Power. What's happening, Liam? You right?
We don't have intro music anymore, do we? Because we could have had shiny, happy people on. That would have been a good way to start the show.
That's what got us banned off Spotify.
Yeah,
and we never got back on it. So we sacked that idea. No Marty, no Scott tonight. Well, Marty may come on at some point. I think Scott has basically been told by his missus he's having a few pints and he's not coming on to talk to us. Scott can't come out to play. That's the message we got. So we're here to have a chat. The last podcast I wasn't on, the one with Brian McColligan, listened to it there the other day. Really, really good. I love listening to Brian. Brian's great.
Oh, really good.
Great, really interesting to talk to. The whole thing about Eric Black and that there, being a coach and being a really good coach, and being able to kind of deal with conflicts and stuff, that stuff fascinates me. I mean, but I good chats, but that was just before the first game of the season against Dundee.
Before we go anywhere else, I missed somebody else, the prodigal son, the Reverend David Harper. Obviously, he's known tonight because he's just fucking following fucking Shelbourne these days, isn't he? That's all we're thinking of.
Emma the Ultras last night also became the Moses for the Ajax fans trying to get into the home end.
Aye. Instead of parking the Red Sea, he was trying to park fucking big fences.
Yes, is there like the Hulk just pulling the fucking railings apart? So he was just fucking these skinny Dutch boys climbing through.
Fucking Shell's daft, isn't he? Shell's
listen, he's one of them guys. Stick him anywhere, and he'll put down roots.
Sorry, Joe, carry on.
Oh no, that's a good shit. And if you haven't listened to this Reds Life podcast, well worth listening to. So anyway, what we're talking about. The last podcast was just before the game against Dundee, and since then we've had the Dundee game, we've had transfer dealings, we've had the Kilmarnock game. I suppose we want to kind of gather and just kind of, I suppose, absorb how a lot of like decent quality football players, not a lot, but some decent quality football players, and a development in play and a positivity can change the entire landscape of what we talk about and how we feel. I mean, Flag Day, I assume it was both a Flag Day on the Monday night.
Yeah.
Looking back, watching the highlights of the game, I didn't enjoy the game as much as I enjoyed the highlights, to be honest with you.
I don't know. You want to go, Scott?
Yeah, I don't mind.
You remember that?
Yeah, I think so. It feels like a long time, doesn't it? But even from that game. So I think it was a little bit weird for a number of reasons. The first game. So one, the Monday night at 7:30. I think it was 7:30, was it? Which was pretty shite. Do you know what I mean? That was a bit of a dampener as soon as you start the season. And we don't want to go off on too many mad tangents, but you really hang on to these Saturday 3:00 games because they seem to be coming less and less every season. With the kind of advent of Europa League and most Scottish teams being on a Thursday that are in Europe. So more and more games are getting pushed out, TV coverage, whatever else. So you kind of cherish your Saturday games, but. So moving the first game of the season to Monday was pretty shit. And I think secondly, the kind of the naive thing you like about football still is when it's a new season, despite how shit the last season might have been, and like ours ended obviously spectacularly, but the majority of it was a complete and a slog. You're normally looking forward to new kits, new players, new whatever else. There's always something kind of new and shiny there to get you kind of excited again for the new season, but. Obviously, plenty of kits, plenty of merchandise coming out, none of which we are buying or we were buying for the Not Another Penny campaign, and not many players either, to be fair. So I think 2 players for the Dundee United game, and who we'd only really just seen coming through the door. Duran we'd seen a bit of in pre-season, and he looked really good. Looked just the thing we were looking for. But you're always looking forward to seeing some new players.
Game, did you say?
What's that?
Did you say Dundee United game?
Dundee game.
Sorry, you said Dundee United. Sorry, Skip.
I do that quite often, so it could well have done, but Dundee.
Is that an English thing? Because you see loads of them doing it in the telly. Fucking people crack up. Fucking annoys the life out of me. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, and people say, Bristol, Sheffield. People do say that. I think it probably is an English thing, maybe, but I certainly meant to say Dundee. I didn't mean to say Dundee. Can you keep me straight tonight? That's good.
You're being watched, Liam. There you go. It's a fucking there you go. You're fucking Jesus fucking Christ. We're 5 minutes in. It's already fucking pedantic Pete fucking in the door.
See when I'm listening to Talk Sport or I'm watching Sky Sports News or anything like that, right? And it's English folk on, and Celtic was playing Dundee. They very rarely say Dundee United when it's Dundee, but they quite often say Dundee when it's Dundee United. You've got to be awkward, skitting there the backwards way. But it's one of the things that pisses me off. Do you know what I mean? Because you're listening, you're like, it's fucking Dundee.
Well, you'd never notice, so don't worry, it's fine.
That's kind of up there when I ask somebody, who do you support? And they go, United. You go, which fucking United do you mean? Leeds United, Newcastle United, Dundee United,
if they're living near you, you fucking know exactly what United.
I know, but be specific, you fucking dickheads. I don't know. It's United. Fuck up, man. That's why I don't go out. Shit, I got there.
No, it's cool. So not really many new players to look at, but I guess keeping it positive. Then seeing Carter Vickers back, seeing Alistair Johnson back. Obviously Jota we're hoping will be at some point not too far off, and I think that's probably key to part of the conversations we'll have later on in the show as well. But it's as well as the new signings that are starting to come through with these players coming back. These are some of the best players in Scotland. So it's a huge boost seeing them again. Carter Vickers just strolled back into to where he left off, and Alistair Johnson obviously just gives us a completely different dimension from a right back perspective. So there wasn't too much new sort of stuff to see, and maybe that kind of influenced my mindset a little bit, because I just thought we were a little bit flat in the first half, a little bit lackluster. It just seemed like we settled back into the kind of horseshoe type, playing it around the back a little bit. Negrin looked good. He looked pretty fit. I know, Jason, you'd mentioned last week about the game being postponed and being a bit pissed off about that, and nobody agreed with me, which was totally fine. But one of the key things about my thoughts around that was, I think the game against Dundee, I think 5 or 6 players were starting their first game of the season, including the friendlies. And I think we've got other players that need minutes in their legs as well. So that was kind of a lot of my thinking behind it. We'll probably come back to it later, but just a lot of players were kicking off for the first time in that game, which is not normally what you'd see when you're starting your league opener. But I think the World Cup obviously had a big influence on that for a few of our players. But yeah, pretty lackluster first half. Who looked pretty good. He was getting into some good places, snatching at his shots a little bit. But like I said, Negrin was good. Other than that, I thought Dundee were really impressive. They came out and kind of played man for man right from the start against us, and most times we've seen that last season. Teams doing that against us, or the last couple of seasons, we've really struggled. And I thought we did struggle again a bit for that game, certainly the first half of that game as well. And we were trying to kind of bring them forward and then ping the ball into Høgh, getting little flicks off, but it wasn't really working at that game. Obviously it improved a lot more in Come On, which we'll come to, but he was kind of flicking a few bits on. There was nobody really near him. But you're going to expect to see that with the new players up front. But second half, I thought much better. We looked much more incisive, much more inventive. Tierney cross for the goal was outstanding. I think personally, Tierney's looking almost back to his best for us now. He's not the same player he used to be. He's not doing that, up and down the wing constantly through the game. He's choosing his runs a lot more, but physically he looks miles better than he did this time last year. And he's probably one of our biggest threats in terms of crosses into the box for goals. So that's really pleasing to see. Brilliant goal from Nygren, brilliant header finish. And you know, while I felt a bit frustrated at times in the game, thought you know, when you look back on it, we could have had probably 4 or 5 goals. You know, when you look back on it, I think we hit the woodwork a couple of times, a couple of brilliant saves from the keeper. Engels had a bit of an off night for him, really, which again totally changed when he got to Kilmarnock. But I guess he's just getting that result for the first game. You know, 1-0 was a bit tight, same as last year, but I thought we were better in that game against Dundee than we were the previous year against St Mirren. But probably just a bit rusty, like I said, with a lot of players coming back from the World Cup and not really getting much pre-season time. So yeah, just a bit hard Monday night. Not many new players, but good win in the end, and it could have been a couple more with a bit more luck.
I was kind of obviously really looking forward to it. Shit, it was a Monday night, terrible, really. You know, but obviously it was to do with the Commonwealth Games and bang. So nothing we could have done about it. I don't think it was the league that fucking decided it. But anyway, we had to deal with it, and I obviously with the results kind of on the Saturday and Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or whatever it was, Saturday, Sunday. There's a bit of chuckle going on there as well. So we were buoyant going into the Grun, and it was kind of workmanlike and loving. You've got a big striker coming in, Høgh, to see what he could do, and obviously Duran had done well in the pre-season game, so I was really looking forward to it. But it was a bit of I don't know. We had a load of chances. Nygren had a chance earlier on. Had a shot saved. Dundee had a couple of chances. They were, as you say, I thought they were decent. I thought Engels looked really good, and Engels was great against Kilmarnock, and it's ironic we won't see him again. But Tierney was unlucky. He had a good shot as well. I think he is coming into a game. I would agree with Liam. He's coming really into a game, and he is a different player than he is. I think he's still dynamic, but no as dynamic as he was, like box to box. But he's clever now. He's obviously a seasoned pro, and he's got fucking everything in his locker. If we can keep him fit, I mean, his cross in for Nygren, as you say, was absolutely perfect. And you just think how many goals who should get off the back of him. Do you know what I mean? But and the big thing I was remembering as well is we were talking about we need an upgrade for Sinisalo, but I think it was the 81st or 82nd minute. What a save he had for, I think it was Ashley Hay, the header. Mind at the end of the game, Dundee got a point. Yeah. It was a brilliant, because I think in the podcast the week before we were saying he doesn't really make saves to win you games. Maybe it was Scott or someone that said that. I can't mind. But or Harper, I can't mind. It was Harper. But anyway, I thought Sinisalo done brilliant for that. But big Høgh, who or whatever, he missed a right few, but I just thought his after-match interview was brilliant. You know, he plays with a smile. I need to get some shooting practice in, and I have to adapt to playing in grass. That's a different thing for me. And I see straight away, you're like, this big guy's got it. You know, he just oozing confidence, and because his movement and everything was brilliant. You know, and I think somebody like Nygren, I hope we hang on to him. I know a lot of people are not his biggest fan, even on some chats. You know, like, there's nothing. I'm like, fuck off. He won us the league last year. But I think with Høgh in the team, sorry, I keep saying Høgh. With Høgh in the team, I think Nygren will come into his own, and it'll be outstanding. The one I would like to discuss in a wee bit is where Duran kind of fits in here, because it's, you know, obviously we've made another couple of signings. We've got Big Hussein in, and when Jota's back, you've got Youngsters Paradise there as well. And you think to yourself, where does Duran fit in? You know, but Joe, we'll go to you, see what you thought of the game. But I was at the end of the game, I was just delighted we got the win, and it's all about the W and first game of the season, and especially with Sinisalo making the save near the end. It was a very pleasing night.
The win was most important because I suppose obviously with the results at the weekend. It was a bank holiday here on the Monday, so it was grand for us. I mean, I was on the fucking beer by 5 o'clock. It was great. So Big Høgh, his movement is dynamic, and his ability to kind of lose a player is great. And find space is great. You're right that he was snatching his shots, but I think he was eager to impress. He seems like a kind of guy that really wants to be liked, really wants to be part of like the what's going on. Doesn't seem like he has a big ego. He's got a real warmth about him, and he seems like he's a really confident, super guy. Apparently, but by all accounts, he's a big Christian. You see him bless himself and stuff when he scores, and just it seems like a real find. Like, do you remember, like Larson was always hard to read for players. Like he'd always lose a player, and you'd always watch him and think like he's not really done an awful lot technically different there. He's just kind of managed to drift away from player and find a bit of space. And who has that in him? And you can see that against Dundee, even though it didn't really come off for him to get a goal. But I thought Engels, when I watched that game, and I watched the Kilmarnock game, I was like, fuck me, this guy's like he seems to be stepping up, stepping on. And again, it's ironic we're not going to see him again, like you said, Jason. But
I thought Engels was really poor against Dundee. I thought he had a really poor. It wasn't for lack of trying, but it just gave the ball away loads and loads through that game. Like complete opposite than Kilmarnock. It's interesting.
I know, but like, but against Dundee, I don't. It was you said they went man for man. Like so, there was a lot of pressure on individual players at certain points. I mean, especially in the midfield. I mean,
yeah, Liam, you've got a point, right? Because that was the talk we ever did, and it was like AJ was getting stuck right in, and Engels looked as if he was off. But I thought he was actually all right. You know, I thought he was brilliant against Kilmarnock. I thought he was.
Oh yeah, very very good. It wasn't like a trying against Dundee. Just he wanted, think whatever he was trying was, he was giving the ball away, it was bouncing off him or whatever. I don't know if it was the pressure of the offer that he had behind him or whatever else, but just thought he had a poor night. But then complete opposite end of the spectrum against Kilmarnock.
That's fair.
Well, I tell you what, I didn't see the level of domination that then transferred over to Kilmarnock in the Dundee game. I wasn't like completely like the win was great, but I wasn't completely like overawed, going like we're going places. I mean, I wasn't like completely buzzing. It's nice to get the win and kind of get moving. But after Kilmarnock, I was like, "Fuck, this is different gravy here." I mean, and I think the transition, the things that have happened between the Dundee game and the Kilmarnock game, and then after and the kind of following week, it's kind of transformed a lot of our feelings and a lot of how we look at what's possible, what's maybe potentially gonna happen. So like things have kind of flipped in a very kind of, and in a way we probably didn't see or didn't expect when it came to like spending money and bringing in quality. So like looking at the Dundee game in many ways, it's kind of like going like you're looking at something that maybe wasn't like fully realized, and now we're getting to a point where we're maybe the next 3 to 4 weeks we'll see something that's actually completely realized, and it appears to be going in the right direction.
And on that note, right, so we'll get to Kilmarnock now, but I think it's time to like, are any of you the same as me, absolutely astonished at what Celtic's done in the transfer market? I'm fucking pinching myself here, to be honest with you.
I can't believe that they're spending over 5 million on more than one player.
4 players.
That's what I'm saying. I can't believe they're spending over 4 million on more than one guy. I mean, so, how often have we seen like the 1.2, the 2.5, 3.4, the 4.5? Maybe, and then sometimes you creep up to like 7 million. You're like, oof, this guy must be worth it. Like, but now we're talking like 11, 8, 9. I mean, you're going like, right, well, maybe they found a place in the market where these kind of players of good quality can come in and actually have an impact. Which again is something we've been speaking about for fucking years. So somebody's come in with some ideas, or somebody's come with some contacts or network, or somebody's come in and went like, here, listen, by the way, or this is a long-term project and we're a bunch of dicks who've been criticizing the whole thing. I don't know which one of those I believe.
I think there's a few different angles here, right? And I've been getting as carried away as everyone else this week, right? And rightly so. But see, if you take a step back and you try and look at it a bit more objectively, right? We've had this thing where we've been saying for the last 2 years. I'm not trying to be negative here, right? This is just trying to put.
No. Because I maybe got a similar point to you.
Yeah, right. So we've been saying this thing for ages and it comes back to the performance against Kilmarnock as well, right? So we've had this thing where we've been laughing, even though it's not funny, that the Celtic board have lowered our expectations so much that everything feels like massively brilliant. Like when they do some stuff that they should just be doing normally, 100%. Right? it feels like massively brilliant for us just now, right? So yes, undoubtedly they are buying quality over quantity this year, 100% right, and that's to be applauded at any point in time, right? And that's the way we should always be doing stuff, and that we've been asking for that for ages. You know, the 4 players we've brought in, you could argue 2 of them are 18 months overdue at least. Do you know what I mean? So, and secondly, they have, and again you can applaud them for this rather than be cynical. They have brought money in to cover the signings that we've made more or less today. You know, so they are doing it on a get people out and then we'll bring people in, even though we feel that the squad is short. The squad's not short on numbers, but it's short on genuine quality and competition, the places you want it to be. So I'm not pissing on it or downplaying it a little bit, but I do think there's been such a kind of black cloud around what's been going on for so long there that we are just getting these bursts of like excitement and big signings in a short space of time. I think it's probably just a bit overemphasized in terms of how we feel about stuff. And I hope it carries on that way, but I think that's probably just part of why everyone's buzzing so much this week, because it's been so long since there's been any of that kind of positivity and excitement when it comes to signing players, and suddenly we're getting a whole burst of them at once, which is great.
Yeah, no, that's basically exactly my point. This is what they should be doing. I'm actually astonished that they're actually doing what they should be doing. No, this isn't like fucking off the scale madness that's going on here. You know. But when you look at the money, so Casper Høgh, Casper Høgh, 11 million arguably. Mikael Bauer, it's between 6.8 to 8 million. Hassan, 9 million. And what was Camilo Duran? Was he run about 6 million?
Yeah, just a little bit less than that, I think, yeah.
Say 5.5 or whatever. So you're talking that's the gut, say 31, 32 million. Right? So, but then you look at it, we've brought, was it 8 million for Maida, possibly going to 10 million, and 22 million for Engels, albeit that's only come across today. Don't even know if he's signed with West Ham, but the deal's been agreed. So that's like your 30 million. So you're actually net flat. So there hasn't been any money spent really, but I'm actually astonished that they've actually done it. You know,
5.5 it says for Duran.
So 5.5, right? So mental arithmetic is roughly about 31 million. I don't know, you can add it up. 9, 6.8, 11, and 5.5. So 32 million.
But if you did a straw poll of people 2 weeks ago and said, or 3 weeks ago, and said, how many of us expect them to bring in more than one player or 2 players of that value, no one would have thought we'd have seen what we've seen in these couple of weeks. And it definitely feels like something has changed.
You think it's maybe, Scott mentioned it on the chat, I think it's maybe the ghost of Tisdale's finally gone now. And see the guy that they brought in, was it for Chelsea? Who was the guy they brought in? Some player. Was it a guy for Chelsea that they brought in?
Head of scouting or something at Chelsea.
Head of scouting.
Something like that.
You know, and I mean, do you think they've actually took on board what the fans did last year to say we don't want a repeat of that this year? And it's kind of forced their hand. Because you know all the memes that were coming out about Nicholson, fucking, he's been kidnapped in his office, and you know. But you say to yourself, this wasn't in our wheelhouse to do this, and they're only doing what they should be doing. This isn't like this should be every year we do something like this, or every 2 years minimum. Well, you know, you maybe get 2 years. Ideally, you would get 2 years. See if all these guys hit the ground running, right? Say 3 out of the 4 of them hit the ground running in their quality, and we bring another one in, right? You would dream world. You would have that squad for 2 years. You know, next year he would really go into and they've sort of solidified, and then at the end of that you sell them all and you start again. But that's what should be happening, and they've proved it with the amount of money we've brought in when we've signed quality players, and we've been fucking amazing at it, really, with your guys like Matt O'Reilly, etc., Van Dijk getting them. But the market's kind of changed, and you need to pay over 5 million now for. But when you look at the demographics of the players that they've brought in, it is what we should be doing: buying guys for Real Oviedo, Paderborn. You know, and these are the teams that we should be getting players from. You're not going to be going to PSG. Obviously you get, going to top English Premiership teams and taking their cast-offs and stuff like that. That's not going to work. Very rarely will it work. But this kind of model is what we should be doing and paying good money for them.
Yeah.
And
I suppose we shouldn't be satisfied that Celtic have now decided to do the thing people have been pointing at for fucking
exactly.
years.
That's exactly what Liam said, and I 100% agree with it. But I'm astonished that they've actually done it, because my expectation levels with them were through the floor. I did not expect it. When Casper Høgh came in, I say Høgh all the time. When Casper Høgh came in, I thought, well, if we supplement this with a few loans and whatever, I'll still be happy, because I didn't even expect him to get that.
Yeah.
But what they've done this week, I'm kind of over the moon, and hopefully there is more to come. That young guy for Chelsea, if he comes in loan, looks good. And then you would hopefully, there may be another couple. I've seen talk of the Hungarian goalkeeper for Blackburn as well. But
but if you ignore the potential 70 million in the bank that we've got, and that figure hasn't moved for about 18 months now, so it could be more, it could be less, I don't know. The way we're operating just now is exactly as Celtic should be operating. We shouldn't be scared to sell anybody. And we should be, if you're selling someone for 20 million, we should be buying 2 or 3 players for 5, 6, 7 million. And, if 2 of them out the 3 work out, then you're going to get another 20 million times 2 and on you go sort of thing. But what we've been guilty of doing is being, massively complacent, and we've had a big sale and then we've just stopped buying players in for a couple of years and just let things fester, rather than, I know it's kind of utopia, but you should always have the replacement in the door to a degree, or lined up in terms of what you want to do. Bring somebody in like January. We rarely sign anyone decent in the January window, and that was a point, Jason, I was just going to make, that when you're saying what's changed, I think it's been reported that Hassan we tried to get in January, but they weren't willing to let him go. Obviously, Gemadis, we've tried it a few times. We got close apparently in January. They didn't want to let him go, or he changed his mind at the end. I don't know who we were credited with an interest in January, and we'd actually had some conversations around him. I'm sure that at least 2 of the players we signed that we were apparently, quite close to trying to get a deal done in January as well. So, whether we have been identifying the right players and just literally couldn't get them in, back in the last window, but we're starting to see some success with them now. But this is how Celtic should be operating. Engels, it's going to be sad to see him go, but some of the players that we've been linked with in midfield and whatever, just get 2 of them in and just get us ready to move forward.
Aye. See, I've seen some of the comments. Sorry, Joe, were you going to say something there?
I was saying, it's also bizarre to see us saying quality players before we play qualifiers in Champions League.
I know, but you just hope it's not too late, because how are they going to gel and fit into?
Well, that's my point about that game. And I know, like, I know it's a hindrance kind of, but like you want to give Hassan a bit of time in that game and a few.
That's in the middle of it. We've got a game tomorrow, and we play them on Wednesday. Effectively the tie could be our on Wednesday, one way or the other.
Yeah.
The St Johnstone game might be immaterial, but I will wait and see. But it is taking a big risk playing guys that have never played before.
It is, and to balance the optimism out, and again, not to be negative, but just to be balanced here. We know Johnson's missing the game, and we are willing to sell Engels like now, sort of thing. So we are depriving ourselves of 2 of our main players for that game on Wednesday.
I know.
One out of our control and one we're choosing to, but that's the gamble we're taking. Yes.
See the thing with Engels, but right, I've noticed, I've seen a few West Ham fans tweeting stuff, and then Celtic fans saying he's a welcome him and that, and the amount of fucking negativity over Engels was wild for Celtic supporters. Will drive him down the cell or that pish, right? I do, to a certain degree, think he kind of underperformed with us. I mean, for the price tag that he paid for him, you'd probably have expected more. But with his age and when he was good, he was fucking outstanding. But it didn't happen every week, you know. But I think him with better players on about him would have been fucking unbelievable. And I think he will go on to great things, you know. And what I would say is his attitude, he's always fit, you know, he was always there, always wanted the ball, never had, you know, and you did want more from him because you seen what was in his locker. But he goes with my best wishes, and I hope the boy is a fruitful. I'll never watch another game that he's playing, to be fair, but I hope he has a fruitful career and does well for himself because he did well for us, but as a young kid, and I mean, I was surprised he never really get involved in the Belgian squad, you know, and hopefully this will kick on. They'll get a good international career because I think he's got all the tools, and I think he could go into big things. I think he'll do well for a team like West Ham, and it could be the ideal thing for him getting into bed in. I think you mentioned at the start.
I think so. Yeah, I think a season in the Championship would be good for him. He's got the physicality, as in the fitness, not necessarily strength, but like he's got the physicality to be good down there. And he's dead ball, like his corners are absolutely wicked.
Corners
are really good, man.
Aye. He's got all the tools, and I wish him all the best, you know. And
he never became what I thought he was going to become. It's like a Michael Ballack for us, but I also don't think he was positioned in that sort of role either.
I think the players run about him as well. He always had Callum McGregor, which is fine, but every other one, it was a mix and match.
I know, but like, I mean, but in many ways, he was there to supplement McGregor. I mean, rather than him be the main kind of player.
I still don't know if he could be an attacking midfielder or a defensive midfielder, you know, because it was like McGregor was like a defensive midfielder, but McGregor would get you more goals than Engels. You know,
I always hope that Engels could be a guy that could win the ball, maybe kind of just inside his own half, drive it forward into the final third, and either make something happen or actually just take a pop himself. I mean, I always hoped that would be his kind of district.
You've kind of described like Petrov there, and I keep trying to find. And I'm like a broken record. I keep trying to find a player that Engels is similar to from Celtic's past, and I've said this a couple of times in here before, and I'm struggling to pin exactly what his game is or what his kind of style is. You know, he's not a Petrov for sure.
No,
maybe something a bit
Liam,
like that.
Is that his fault or was he utilised?
No, not at all. Not at all. But how would you describe if you were describing to a West Ham supporting friend, for example? What would you describe his mate apart from his physicality?
He's a hard-working, earnest human being who will sign a child's autograph.
That's factually correct, Joe, and we can't call you for that.
Is that worth £22 million? I don't know.
Well, I don't depend on how much money you got. I don't know.
Here, see the tweet that I clicked on, right? It was somebody had done a fucking mishmash of his highlights for Celtic, and he looked fucking a world beater. See the pinpoint passes he done, you know. Just straight away putting guys clean through.
I seen that on Twitter. So that I was like, fucking I said, world beater, tackles and everything, fucking winning the ball. Fucking, I was like, this guy's a machine.
Some of the balls that he puts through are fucking out of this world. You know, his vision. You know, he's definitely got it. You know, and if let's face it, right? We didn't have a centre forward last year.
No,
you know, we basically played the season without a centre forward. So he didn't have MD to find. See if he had a guy like Høgh playing in front of him, you know, that's making the runs. Engels would be a fucking gold mine. You know. But I think he'll go to good things. I would have liked him to be better, but I think the circumstances and the players that were running about him, and as I say, we didn't have a number 9, you know. So, but I think the big man will go into good things. And at the end of the day, fucking thanks for having doubled your money. More than doubled your money because you're going to get 22 with Rising, and there'll be promotional bonuses and stuff like that. So,
I think it was his 100th game last weekend. I was quite surprised at that. That was quite quick to get to 100 games, wasn't it?
But also, fair play to him going to a club that has a challenge like getting back up to the Premier League. Because people are going like, well, why would he go to Championship? Going like, well, he's not really. He's going to West Ham, who will expect to be coming straight back up. Yeah, that's why they're making these investments. And a guy like him, who knows the pressure of fucking having to fucking win, is going like, well, I'll just go and do that then. I mean, and part of me is kind of going like, fuck off, fair play, kids. You could have taken some easier option.
See, well, put it this way: he's going to London. He's going to be playing in front of 60,000 every week, and the fucking Dory me they'll be giving him. I don't think it was fucking much of a fucking quandary, you know. And
I'm making him sound way more altruistic than he actually is.
And you say him, right, so you get a chance to go to Leeds, go and live in Leeds, you get a chance to go to London, right? You know, where are you going?
You're going London.
You know,
100%.
No offence to any Leeds-based listeners of the show, obviously.
No.
Plenty of offence to them. Fuck them.
Absolutely. Listen, we love Emmerdale here.
But so the thing is, it's the way it goes, and good luck to him, you know. And let's face it, see when you sign him, that's all you're looking for. You sign some, and me signing Big Høgh, Høgh, that honest to God, I'm my own head in here.
Fuck me.
you would think, obviously, if he keeps banging the goals and produces the goods, does it in the Champions League, which he's done it before, right? And I think as Yer Man has as well, you know, so we've got guys now that can score in the Champions League. They're not frightened to score in the Champions League. But these guys, you would expect, and I don't know if there was any merit in the Rotten Mob with Chermiti. They did knock back 22 million. I don't know if there's truth in that. But you think to yourself, with centre forwards that can bang the goals in at the highest level, you could be looking at like a 40 million. You know, if this guy comes to us and proves it, and fucking rips the league up, and we have a decent enough run in Europe and score some important goals in Europe, you could be in a couple of years looking at 40 million for somebody. Because that's the way the money goes, with guys that can put the ball in the net.
I don't know if anybody in Scotland will ever get £40 million for a player.
I don't. I'm not so sure, Joe. I'm not so sure. See if you've got a top class striker, and I think Høgh is a top class striker. You know, I do. And I know it's a couple of games I've seen him, but he's
no, I totally agree with you. It's one of them ones you watch.
At the highest level.
We're all watching football long enough to know when a feeling is a feeling.
Aye. I mean, there's nobody could have said to me Virgil van Dijk when you watched him, you'd be like, fucking guy's a Rolls Royce. And see, he went to Southampton, you're like, fucking lies it. But see, here's another one. Maeda, as I've said to you, he will rip that up down there. And I don't care who he's playing with. He can do it in his own.
Oh, the thing with me is nobody knows what's coming.
He doesn't know what's coming. No. How are they going to know what's coming if he doesn't?
Very true. Very true.
Well, there you go. It's the perfect fucking. It's the perfect potion. You know what I mean? He doesn't know what's happening. They don't know what's happening. Let's see what happens.
But the quote of the week when we were reading, I think one of you shared it. It was
brilliant.
Was it one of you with the Real Oviedo supporters?
About fucking Hassan.
Big Hassan. He says, "Oh man, the guy get me off my seat like nobody on earth." He says it was fantastic. He says, "Just wish him all the best." He says, "Guy's amazing. Dribbles for fun," but he says the only problem is he's got a fucking shot on him like a shotgun at a fun fair.
This is more than a shotgun than a fun.
And then I'm on a group with all the Scousers, and one of the Evertonians says he can always write fucking, they say that Tony Hibbert says, "What a fucking player," he says, "but he's got a love affair with the roof of the main stand."
The Hassan quote's good, mate, but it's not the quote of the week, and we'll get onto that when we.
Quote of the week's about it today. Oh fuck!
I tell you, there's another one as well. As I was saying,
there's several things floating around on the group chats that have made me laugh out loud the past week.
It's slightly off topic, but obviously, so I was listening to that Open Goal podcast with Derek Ferguson. Thought it was fucking hilarious. I just fast forward the bit at the start when they're talking shite. So I was on the part with Toff, and I just heard them saying, "I'm so looking forward to this season. I just feel like somebody's come up behind me and just fucking hit me on the heat with that frying pan." But then the bit after it, I thought was really interesting, right?
It's a bit loose.
Aye. Did you think so?
I was that. I think that's an insight he might regret having to talk about.
Aye, I think so. Because can you remember when they were all talking about Lewis Ferguson going to Rangers? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there's been. So he was being very coy about it all right at the start of the season. So obviously they have sounded him out. And he's obviously in a bit of a rant now about the fucking Dirty Dozen. And he's went and said that, I mean, why were they even talking to him? Why were they even sussing him out when they knew they couldn't pay that money? I mean, they knew it was going to be between 15 and 20 million euros. So what was the even point of having the conversation? And they kind of, I think he'll regret saying that because obviously he's through
as soon as I heard that, I was like, he's going to regret that.
Aye.
But do you know what the answer to that question is? They thought you'd be staunch enough to take something lower.
No, but it's not only they with him.
Exactly.
Bologna wouldn't he? He can't go unless they pay 15 to 20 million euros.
I think
they're thinking is going like, well, he just want to come. He'll force his way out.
I think it's not even that. I think it's just them just trying to be linked with a player like that and kind of get a bit of interest and a bit of excitement going. That's all I think they've tried to do. I think they've used it a bit, knowing his background and kind of, he would play for them if the opportunity came, but he's not going to. He's got a different trajectory now for the next few years. He might end up there later on in his career.
The way he said that, I think he would have definitely went there if they put the money up for him.
Yeah, but 15 million, it's never going to happen. No, that was the point he was making.
But also, how fucking daft, how daft are they to not understand that was never going to happen? I mean, how daft are they to think that Rangers could step up to that level? Like, I mean, at the end of the day, why would you even talk to them? They must have fed them some land of bullshit, and some kind of emotional connection is brought them to the table. And when they got to the table, it was like, well, this isn't happening. Why are we talking? I mean, but they're daft enough to believe that it might happen. They're equally as daft as every other cop in the stands going like, this is fucking turning around, money's in the pocket. And many fucking times, they're turning into the Donald Trump of fucking Scottish football. Many times you hear the same shit and nothing happens. I mean, it's fucking, like, anybody that's believing it or buying into it or is even entertaining it is a fucking moron.
It's fucking beautiful. Never mind fucking slagging it. Keep it going. Long may it continue.
I know, it's beautiful. I'm not saying like, but I'm saying if you're on the other end of it and you're engaging with it, going like, you know what, this could go the right way. Well, then you, sir, are a fucking clown.
But to be fair to these Yanks, they've been fucking throwing the cash about.
I
mean, there's
on shite though.
It was in Radio Clyde when I was out earlier on, and they've signed since the Yanks have come in 27 players, and what they said was, we're worse now than we were before they come in. 27 players, some of them loans, etc. Fucking hell.
Fucking Noah's Ark it's turned into. Fuck me. The animals came in 2 by 2.
Fucking hell. The animals is right, but Jesus, what a state they're in there, I tell you. I love it.
Just go back to Ferguson for a minute. Like, it's another player that I just don't really get. Like, I don't rate that highly. I don't know. I just don't. I think he's improved. You can see the improvement. I thought he was probably Scotland's best midfielder at the World Cup, which wasn't a high bar the way it ended up turning out. But you wouldn't be blowing your budget on someone like that, would you? Kind of like, it's not a match winner.
I would love a player like that at Celtic.
Right. That's interesting.
I know, but you couldn't put a player of that caliber into a team with fucking £2-3 million players and expect it to go well.
No.
Take it back.
I mean, as much as he's a fucking, a DOP, but he's a smashing player.
I think he's I don't want to say this, right, but I think he's a better Neil Lennon. He's like a Hodcar, like a rubbish Roy Keane, but he's kind of in that mould.
He's got the dig, but he's got the ability to create.
I think he's a player. He's definitely a player.
So the only place he's going to play for us, he's going to replace Callum McGregor. He's nowhere near him, in my opinion.
I would agree with you, Liam, but Callum McGregor, how long can he go? But it's not just Callum McGregor as a football player. It's Callum McGregor as a leader. Callum McGregor
exactly
as Mr. Celtic. And the thing for me was, see when the rumour, when obviously not a rumour, but when he changed his agent, oh man, he's fucking away. You know, I was convinced he was leaving. Why in heaven's name would he change his agent? You know, he's a captain. He would be able to get in. Why has he even got an agent if you're not going to leave Celtic?
Yeah.
Why does he not just go in to fucking the boardroom and say, right, I want to sit down and negotiate my next deal?
I'm assuming, do they not do like commercial deals and other things rather than just contracts? Is there more to it than that? Well, I don't really know, but...
Right, fucking an agent's an agent, right? Commercial deals. Fucking pick the phone up and phone Adidas yourself.
But Jason, footballers don't do fuck all for themselves.
Get your dad, your brother to do it.
Yeah, I know, I agree. They just don't.
I mean, see, at the end of the day, he's best mates with Tierney or whatever. What's Tierney? What deals he got?
I mean, listen, all these lads haven't got a Jason Higgins. You know what I mean?
Fucking hell, man. They've been in the game long enough. Surely, fuck. They must realise this agent's taking 10% ever I get for doing
it's
that.
mental. I've heard agents getting. I've heard them get interviewed and they say that they've got all these 18-year-olds on the books and they're like, don't know how to set up a mobile phone bill, don't know how to do a single thing for themselves. Do you know what I mean? It's fucking easy money, man. We're in the wrong game. Yeah, completely.
Oh, totally.
What are they, fucking agents or PAs? What the fuck?
A bit of both, really, I think.
Aye, but they're professional bullshitters. But
do you know what?
Makes them living.
I fucking hear. I'm into it. Let's go.
I mean, as soon as the word agent's mentioned in anything, just replace it for Parasite.
We should have a HomeBhoys agency. The three of us. Just fucking dealing with players. Just giving them advice.
Think about it. That's all they do. All they do is phone folk. You know, sit there and fucking negotiate deals.
I suppose you think about it, right? Like the whole sort of what would you call it? Like the kind of ecosystem of agents and football players is something that's supposed it's kind of created by the people involved in that sort of bubble, right? And the agents have kind of inserted themselves as essentially go-betweens.
Aye, they've asserted themselves as essential fucking elements of fucking the merry-go-round of football fucking happening.
Does that happen in every sport though?
No.
Is there snooker agents? I wouldn't think there is.
Aye, there is. And they're fucking idiots. Any player that's got one's a fucking moron. Fucking our John had a few and they fucking every one of them ripped him off for fortunes. And then he realised, what the fuck, my dad on it. Then he just does it himself now. What the fuck? I mean, he's got a guy in China that makes him money, but it's only half the table stuff and the guy takes a cut of that. But he's not taking any of his prize money or anything. But at the start, years ago, Ian Doyle, Barry Hearn and all, they were taking fucking 10-20% of prize money.
What?
Aye.
Barry Hearn, who sets up the fucking tournaments in the matchroom, is taking prize money off players?
Well, he didn't run World Snooker then, but aye, when he was fucking imbeciles. I remember Matt Williams was getting sponsored by fucking Ian Doyle, right? And do you know what he had on his waistcoat? Cafe Cine, the pub in the town. What were they giving him? Like fucking 500 quid a year. Fucking, he made like fucking 2 million one year. Doyle's get 200 grand of that.
That's a fucking.
It's fucking mental.
That is just screaming.
They book all your hotel rooms and book all your flights, but you need to pay them.
So you get sucked into the system. You get sucked into your system and you're plugged into it. Fuck me, that's weird.
Absolutely mental.
Jesus Christ.
But football players, right? I get loads of them in the fucking academics, right? But I fucking said to Kieran Tierney before he went to Arsenal when he was leaving Celtic, I says, you'll sell yourself. I says, no agent's going to get you anywhere. And fucking a deal will get done in Celtic. I says, get your dad to be your agent. Fucking get your dad. Nicholas and Elka made his brother his agent.
I watched that documentary and I was impressed by how fucking well they ran things.
Exactly.
Right? And they were all like, oh, this was always the plan. He has talent. Right. We stick together. All the money's ours. Exactly. I was like, do you know what? Fucking fair play to you.
And see, it's different. See if you're an also ran player, right? you probably do need an agent. No, unless you've got a brother that doesn't work or whatever, but you're not going to make enough money to sustain his fucking living as well, right? So say you're a middle of the road player, you'd need to phone up fucking 30, 40 clubs, get trials and things like that. And it could be, so agents can do that. You can join an agency, they can open doors for you because they've got contacts and whatever. So I get that. But seeing you're a top class player, fucking hell, man, having an agent, you must be off your nut.
And that was always the thing with Anelka as well. It was always difficult to deal with, his agents and stuff. They're going like, well, of course, because they want the best for fucking him, because they're his fucking brothers and everybody's fucking bread's on the line.
Aye.
So fuck you.
Aye.
There's no personal relationship with some agent somewhere.
And that's the thing for me. Callum McGregor changing agency, but he's not going to change clubs. Why the fuck's he get an agent? Can you not just fucking sit there and agree his next deal and keep all the money yourself? What the fuck? It's absolutely insane.
See, slight segue, right? I was listening to Gary Neville's podcast quite a lot. Him, Keane, Wright. I think it's pretty good, right? If you don't mind listening to ex-footballers talk about football.
I only see the wee snips on Facebook and all that. And I like it. It's quite good.
It's good, Jason. Honestly,
listen to it. I maybe need to download it.
Yeah, it's good. So through the World Cup, obviously Wright and Neville are big England fans, and they did podcasts right after the England games, even when they got beat, and they're pretty good, man. They're pretty honest about stuff. But I was listening to one the other day, and I don't know whether it was an old one. You probably tell me it was. They were talking about Milan and Como playing a game in Australia. So I don't think that's this season. Was that maybe last season that was proposed, or before? And Ian Wright was kind of saying, he was in favour of it. Like Keane was like, no, definitely not, no chance. And Wright was like, you just need to look for the next angle, the next kind of income stream. And you're like, but what is the point? I mean, how many different angles have they taken for income streams, TV deals, moving games, spreading the games across the weekend, kick-off times or whatever? And what's happened for the whole of football? Prices have gone up for us season after season after season. We don't see any of the benefit of any of the money. Players are now multi-billionaires, and agents come out of nowhere are almost equally as fucking rich as the players.
Yeah.
Why do you have to pay an agent £10 million as part of a deal to sign one player?
Yeah.
It's fucking unbelievable.
It's mental. And I don't know the truth in this or whatever, but it seemed like the deal that we didn't sign the fullback, and it seemed like it turned out that he's owned by two different fucking conglomerates.
Oh, Sriracha?
Aye, Sriracha, River Plate, and
how the fuck's that happen?
Someone else, because they sell shares there and all that, and it's fucking.
What is it? A leg and a fucking thigh, or fucking?
Aye,
is it fucking chicken?
Aye, but at the end of the day, these people, these players are not really educated, and obviously they've just been fucking conned into, because we'll do a podcast here in the next couple of weeks with a young Scottish guy that's making his name abroad, and he wrote a thesis on the SFA, and it'll be an amazing podcast, and it's obviously the talking point about youth development, etc. And he was the guy that was starting to get the ball rolling. So we'll get him on the podcast, and he'll give us warts and all, and he'll tell you about. I had a blather with him about agents, etc. And he says about these young kids getting their heads turned by agents. And he says it's just unbelievable. They think they've made it, 16, 17-year-old. And this agent's promising them this, promising them that, and their heads are just fucking fried. And they can't concentrate on playing football. And it's mental. It's absolutely mental.
It's mental in many ways. It's like it's literally mental for young players. Like the concept of getting there and making it is an achievement and a goal, right? But the work that it takes to actually get there and be it is such a minefield to fucking get there, right? So like the mentality required to actually get through all that shit, and the people around you that you've mentioned that you need to protect you, so you can actually go ahead and do the actual thing that you're talented with, the gifts you have and the ability you have to go and express it. Right. The amount of like mental fortitude and protection you need to make that actually happen is fucking beyond belief. And it gets worse and worse because of the more neo-capitalist society we're kind of moving into.
But
I told it.
Sorry,
Go on,
Lee,
Jason.
go.
No, coming after you. Carry on.
No, but Joe, see when you say about protection you need, right? See if you've got. I know some of these people don't come to stable family environments, etc. So they are rich pickings for agents. But it would be interesting. I don't know, but see Lennon Miller, is his oil man his agent? Because that would be fucking shocking to me if he's no. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, someone that's been in the game all them years.
Exactly. That's the one. That would fucking rock my world. See if his old man wasn't his agent, because he's one of the young kids that he's fucking feet on the ground, and he stayed at Motherwell, to develop himself. And that's the thing. See if you're a young player and you're getting into the first team, and maybe not the best team in the world or the best team in that league or whatever, but you're getting game time and you're developing your football career. That's the way you need to do it. See these agents will promise them riches, so they'll say you're. I understand, like your Rocco Vatas and that, leaving Celtic, because they're not getting a look in, right? They need to go. Your Daniel Kelly, etc. I don't know if it's worked out for him at Millwall, but I totally understand why they leave Celtic, because they're not getting a chance, right? But if you're getting a chance at a team and they're not paying you the best money in the world, but you're playing every week, you need to just play, and you need to just forget all the external everything externally for your football. Just concentrate on playing football and getting better, and the riches will come, and you'll have a long career and you'll make plenty of money. But see the ones that chase, like Man United's want to sign me, when I'm 17. What's the chances you making Man United? You'll get a cracking signing on fee. You look at Michael Stewart. Michael Stewart went to Man United, and I think he played one first team game or something. I can't really mind, but I think he was on fortunes. Signing on fee, everything was there for him, and obviously he had a decent career. Come back to Scotland, and I don't even know if he went to other teams in England for Man United, but played with Hibs, Hearts, etc., and had a right good career. But he didn't make it at Man United. If he'd maybe stayed where he was in Scotland, he might have had a proper career. He might have improved. Probably he wouldn't change it because he did have a good career, so that's maybe a bad example. But you look at the young kids that left us to go to Chelsea and stuff like that and never seen again. They get the riches for 3-4 years of that contract, and then that's it, gone.
It's a really good point. I know you talked about it on the last podcast. I did hear a bit of that, but it's when I was listening to Brian and yourselves talking, I'm like, and I've said this to other people, if I had boys that were good players, I'd want them to go to Motherwell all day long, ahead of Celtic all day long. But I suppose, but then I suppose if you've got a kid and they get offered a contract at Celtic, or even as we've seen players at Celtic get offered a contract at Bayern Munich or Liverpool or whatever, and they're saying we're going to give you $5,000 a year for the next 3 years, we're going to give you a house, we're going to give you this and that. It's fucking it's hard for a lot of people to turn that.
No, Liam. But you've got to actually weigh up where you are at the present stage.
Yeah.
So say you're at Celtic and you're not going to look at the first team, and somebody offers you some, go, because there's no pathway to get into the first team at Celtic. But if you're playing with Motherwell, for instance, and you're playing every week, and then Bayern Munich come in for you, right? But they're going to put you in their B team and they're going to whatever. Why would you leave?
Yeah.
But you've got to imagine though, like in this day and age, a lot of young guys going into the game, they get blinded by financial achievement rather than actual development.
Oh, that's a massive thing, Joe. It's a massive thing nowadays, because
especially when you're coming from like a background that maybe isn't used to that kind of money. I mean, you think, well, let's not turn this down. Let's not let this go away.
But we're in a society now. You look at the English Premier League or the English Championship, they'll still earn good. Some of there'll be people on top money there, but you look at the English Premier League, there'll be people that will go through their full career. I mean, there's Seamus Coleman. Seamus Coleman will be a multi-millionaire. And he's a terrible example because he was a model professional, right? But he'll be a multi-millionaire, never won a sausage. He'll look back in his career, and obviously he's an Everton legend. But he will have regrets that he doesn't have anything in his trophy cabinet. Not a thing. Nothing.
Well, we had him at Celtic, didn't we? We had him there.
I know.
Let him go.
But you look at guys that's played with Newcastle. You look at Alan Shearer, probably one of the best strikers England's ever produced. Won a league with Blackburn, and that's it. One league championship. Don't know if he won League Cups or maybe the Charity Shield or whatever. That was it. Went to Newcastle. You know, these guys, you look at players that's played for Celtic that's got, you know, cabinets full of medals, the memories that they've got. Somebody like Callum McGregor, James Forrest. You know, who would end their career with fulfilment? Because you'll have guys that's played their careers at Fulham, Crystal Palace. You know, never won. Palace won the cup, but you know, you'll have guys that's just went through football and earned multi-millions, but not get one medal in their trophy cabinet.
Oh, but not every cunt can be champion. That's probably the vast majority of football players, let's be honest.
No, but I'm talking about the multi-millionaires without winning anything. That's what it's getting to now.
Aye.
You know, so when they sit and talk to their grandkids, I was this, what did you win, Granda? Oh, absolutely nothing.
Won the Shield when I was 19.
Aye.
It's all just changed, Jason. We've had this conversation many times about, you know, like an Everton fan or a Villa fan. I asked my pal a couple of years back, would you rather finish fourth or win the FA Cup? He's like, finish fourth all day long.
You wouldn't have got one
madness,
person at Bramley Murdoch would say that.
Yeah. But a lot of clubs would feel that way, you know, qualifying for Champions League is more important than winning a trophy. And it's like, it's mental, man.
It is wild, isn't it? Like, to think that kind of convenience and comfort is way more satisfying than actually clinching something.
At the end of the day, it's a job, right? So you need to earn money. And obviously, the money that's available now is just incredible. So you can't really change it, you know. And let's face it, if we get Casper Høgh when it comes to us, it'd be interesting to get his mindset, right? Because he's came to a team that wins, right? And he's playing in the Champions League. And he's coming to a team that wins. And he's playing in the Champions League. Would he have signed for, like, say they'd matched our money, right? Would he have signed for like a Real Betis? Or, you know, like a Valencia? If they matched the money that we were paying?
I suppose it depends what motivates him. You know, like you said, he's gone like for like in terms of winning and expectation, but he's going to a team with 5 times the size of a stadium and support
and kind of many ways he's kind of moved laterally, hasn't he, Liam? In some ways, like football ways. No,
he's totally different.
What?
No. I don't mean in terms of status. I mean in terms of, like, you know, level and what he's at. He's kind of taking his talent to like, I'm going to move laterally to a team that kind of operates at the same sort of Champions League level that maybe I've been at before, and therefore I can then push on.
He's not gone for the league. He's gone for a bigger club in the kind of similar environment, I guess. You know, Celtic's expectations will always be bigger than Bodo Glimt's, but, like, you know, they've obviously surpassed us quite a bit in Europe in recent times. But he's not, like you said, as Jason's example, he hasn't gone for the big league for a lower level team. You know, he still wants to stay with a winning team, but a much bigger exposure, I guess, just now. But be interesting to see where he might go further on.
Aye, definitely. Kind of went away on a bit of a fucking mad tangent there, didn't we?
That was good, though. I enjoyed it. That's why we haven't got near Kilmarnock. That's where we're going to start now, because we've kind of ended on a bit of a who there. I mean, bit of a hoodoo.
Get me to stop saying ho. Fucking hell.
You're starting to say like a rapper from the 90s. Fucking hoes. Fucking hoes here. Hoes everywhere. Fucking hoes.
House central in the house.
Fuck the hoes. On to Kilmarnock. I mean, this is where Høgh became who's the man. I mean, at the end of the day. like that game was like an example in pure domination.
Well,
From start to finish, in my opinion. I mean, I know the first maybe 15 minutes was back and forth, but see after that,
aye, but it kind of wasn't. You know, it's obviously the score after that. I'll go first, right?
go.
But so you're getting with fucking anticipation. First thing that I noticed when I got in the stadium was the park looked fucking majestic, looked unbelievable, right? So no excuses, and you're just like, right, how are we going to fucking play here? Just straight off the bat. So I'm getting mixed up with all his goals, right? See his first goal. Who set that one up? Was that Engels?
Engels with left foot fucking high cross.
Oh,
brilliant.
Aye, fucking beautiful. Aye. So obviously you've scored there, buzzing, right, the big man. And I actually thought it was Nygren because we were up the other end when he scored, and he kind of looks similar to Nygren when he's at the other end of the park. So but then it's big Høgh, and you're just fucking delighted for him, right? So the place was absolutely buzzing. The atmosphere was brilliant. And but then after that, Joe, it was fucking end to end. Come on, I've got the right few chances, you know. And for the next 15 minutes, you're like, oh, don't know about this. And I think Big Carter Vickers is finding his feet. Do you know, he's obviously not played for ages, but you can see him getting better every game. And and then obviously we get to the second one. That was roughly about half an hour, I think. So who made whose second? Was it Duran?
Because someone squared it to him. Was it Duran? I think it was Duran.
Could have been. Anyway, another. What I would say is his two headers, right? His movement was unbelievable because his third one was just a fucking empty goal. But see the way he's dragging defenders over the shot. Fucking his movement is fucking beautiful. It's just amazing, man. He just knows what he's doing. And but the one that he scored, there's 2 points there. So the one that he scored with his feet, the keeper was fucking terrible. You know, the keeper should have got that, right? But he didn't. And obviously the keeper, when he's passed the one out to Nygren, when Nygren's got the fourth, an absolute fucking disaster for the keeper. But apart from that, the keeper, what a game he had.
He about 11 saves he pulled off. Good saves, like.
Aye, he was outstanding. But they two were fucking horror shows for him. But
you mentioned who's goal there, but the second goal, aye.
That was the second one.
Who was it? Nygren made it.
Nygren set the second one up. Yeah, the one that just curled in. Yeah, Nygren did.
That's right. That's right. Aye.
I see that there. That was similar to the snapshots he was taking in the Dundee game. And you watch that game in the Dundee game, and it's one of them ones you're going like, what he's doing will come, and it came. I mean, he's one of them guys. It appears that the penalty box is basically a farmer's field to him. He'll find space. He'll find somewhere to be. You know what I mean? He's there. I mean, he just finds space, and you go like, "How's this guy doing this?"
Aye, he's fucking, and his movement is amazing. You know, he's just fucking. He's like fucking. Aye, as if he's on the marching powder or something. You know, when he's fucking in that box, he just fucking all over the shop. But aye, absolutely brilliant. And so then obviously, like half time, you're just like, fucking hell, man, this is unreal. He's walked half and you're just absolutely buzzing. I mean, we've had some times doing it, rugby part, and you think about it, you know.
Aye, it's been tough.
The one time that the time that we lost the league was a fucking killer. But you think the amount of good times we've had down there, that's been some stadium for us.
Aye, and do you know what I love? I love the explanation of his celebration. Do you see that?
No, I didn't, because it's like Robin Hood sort of thing, taking an arrow or something. What's it for?
It's a peacock.
A peacock?
Aye, because they asked him, it was on fucking one of the things, actually online. I said, what's your celebration? He goes, well, me and my best friend since I was a kid, we have matching tattoos. It's a peacock. And he showed the tattoo. He goes, it's a peacock. He has loads of tattoos in his arms. It's a peacock. And he goes, so that's my thing. Let him know that, when I score, I do the peacock. He goes, because nobody else does that. And I was like,
Brilliant.
you'll fucking do, you cunt, you'll do.
He's a big cool bastard, isn't he?
He's the first guy to maybe think, see this Jesus stuff, maybe there's something about it. Because he's a mad Christian.
So what is he? Is he a mad?
He's a Catholic. He's a Catholic. But it's all praise be to God. And you know what? Fucking, I'm a well-known pantheist. Right? Pantheism is basically the idea of going like, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but something's going on, and I stick with that. I mean,
I was glad you explained that there, Joe, because that was my next question.
Pantheism is like it's kind of agnostic with a bit of a acknowledgement. I mean,
I'm in Marvin Andrews through. That's where I'm sticking. That's fine.
Everything's gonna be all right.
Bob Marley and Marvin Andrews, I'll do for me.
Somebody sent me that link the other day. A fucking Andrew singing. It said, "Could you imagine if we got pumped into Europe and fucking Craig Burnley turned up singing Bob Marley songs?"
Surely that was before the game.
You fucking
Reggie Blinker.
Fucking Reggie with the end for a couple of quid. I think Big Marvin would as well, to be fair. But fucking hell, at half time you're like that. See when the team went off, fucking hell, buzzing, man. Just like, whoa, what's happened here? And then he could have scored more. He could have scored 6.
He could have easily scored 6 or 7, so he could have.
Aye. But so then the second half just started, and then the keepers just fucking passed it to Negrin. And great finish, to be fair. But I thought Negrin was excellent. I thought my 3 top players were Engels, Negrin, and Big Høgh. I think Negrin looks as if he loves playing with the big man. The two of them have got a bit of bromance going already. So yeah. I really hope that we don't sell Negrin.
You've got to wonder, right, if you're Negrin, right, and you've just come from a season playing with Maeda, who maybe 5 out of 10 times is going to pick up on your vibe and what you're doing. Then you've got Høgh, who appears to be like going, I'm everywhere, just put it somewhere. You know what I mean?
Do you know what I've been thinking about this, right? Do you know what I love Maeda, right?
Alright, we all do.
There's no player in the world like him, but do you think it was maybe a hindrance to the players that he was playing with at times? Because you didn't know where he was going to be, or you didn't, you couldn't bank on him then. I don't know, it's really hard because it's not in your wheelhouse to actually know where he's going to be, because he is that fast and he is that. I don't know, it just he fucking messes with the equilibrium of the planet, because he is a fucking total maverick. Do you think that maybe has a negative effect with players that he's playing on a bit?
I think it probably causes a certain level of anxiousness of going like, right, well, listen, we don't really know what's going to happen, but something great might happen.
Aye.
But it's possible that everything shit might happen too.
I'm maybe no word in that, right? But
I know, like, he's Maeda, his biggest asset was the fact that he would never fucking stop. He's the road runner. That's what he is. He's a football road runner, right? But his biggest downside is like that he was so unpredictable.
Aye. And when you've got a team that's playing a system, it's very, because
it's a really good point, Jason. I was going to talk about this after, but right, I think the difference between having Maeda as number 9 and Høgh as number 9 was like fucking different ends of the world. Do you know what I mean? Like, to just even being able to play a ball to a striker with his back to goal who could control it and pass it to somebody, one of his teammates. I think that's not Maeda's game, right? That was never Maeda's game. He's never a back to the defender. Yeah. Target man sort of thing. And last year, again, not trying to be negative, but just to caveat a little bit, come on, it was amazing. We were so good. It was really positive. But just having it's like we were playing with 11 men for the first time in a year. Like having an actual genuine centre forward that has physicality and like an awareness about how to play that role was just such a difference, man. A complete difference.
That's exactly my point. That was like the fucking fucking epiphany moment for me walking out of fucking Rugby Park.
Yeah.
And saying, fucking hell, I've not seen this for years. And I actually said this is the most I've enjoyed a Celtic game for over 2 years.
Exactly. I don't think Høgh was like the second coming of Jesus or something, right? It was very, very good, but I think it was just.
He looks like Jesus as well.
He has the hair, Liam. He has the fucking hair. In fairness, what I mean.
He does. But it was just having a striker that you could bring Negrin into play. You could bring other people into play. You could. The fullbacks could go up and put balls in knowing he's going to win the ball. It was just having a structure in the team made all the difference in the world because we saw it last year and it's not Maeda's fault necessarily, but you're passing the ball up to him. It's like chucking a beach ball to him. Do you know what I mean? He can go anywhere when he touches it. And so you haven't got that confidence to make those runs to get them flicks from him because that can go anywhere. I mean, what you're probably describing, there's two elements to me. There is his unpredictability just in his general game, which is, I think, a strength of his, but then his touch and control in certain points, that brings the structure of the team down. I think that's what you're referring to at the end there. And that's why so many players are much more effective because you'd had the confidence that when you're putting the ball up there, it was going to stick with him or it was going to come to you. He was going to lay the ball to you and then everything else was worth the effort of making the runs forward and stuff.
All right, but his unpredictability, Liam, gives you the overhead kick against Rangers. I mean,
yeah, but it's a Maverick bitch, right? So,
and that's like, how do you trade that off? You can't. Like, either accept or you don't accept.
But I mean, see, who was centre forward and Duran was on the right and Maeda was on the left. Fucking hell, that'd be an incredible forward line. Do you know what I mean? And that unpredictability would just be a bonus rather than the thing that would drag you over the line. With the league would be won in March. You wouldn't need to be getting the overhead kick in April to get you that sort of result. You just take that as a bonus all the time.
I do get the feeling that Negrin's more of a better fit. I think that Jason's right, more of a better fit for Høgh because of the way that he gets his head up and he looks and he can pick somebody out.
Yeah, I mean, Negrin got a lot of stick last year, quite rightly, because he was hopeless in most games apart from scoring, right, which is a brilliant trait to have. But he just looks like a different player, having, he sees where the ball's going. He knows what Høgh's going to do. He's got a good idea where the ball's going to drop. There's a really good, telepathy between them two players already in a short spell here. And maybe that's what Negrin's just been missing. That's what he's needed, and a proper file there.
That's a good T-shirt. What's Høgh going to do? I like that.
See, here's another thing. Can you ever mind the Maeda doing a 1-2?
Oh, what?
1-2. See, like, pass, run, and then give it back or whatever.
Oh, no, he did many times.
I don't know. But that's the point, Jason. So when
it wasn't necessarily his thing. Like,
his 1-2 was like a control and then a slide tackle on someone 40 yards away where the ball had ended up.
His was more of a 1, 2, 3, 4 back to the one. You know what I mean? A bit more of a fucking a bit more of a musical element to his football.
He did many 1-2s with himself, fucking. but it's, and I just feel that maybe I just get totally caught up with his work ethic and everything because that was the thing coming out of Rugby Park. Like, I just watched a team that knew what they were doing, and it was like controlled, and it was like a bit like, dare I say it, a bit like watching Motherwell.
But it's a fair point because the point was in the Dundee game when we were pinging the ball to Høgh, it wasn't sticking, it was kind of bouncing off him or he was flicking it on and no one was there, but it was completely different against Kilmarnock. And, he was laying it off to people and totally breaking that press that Kilmarnock were trying to do much less efficiently than Dundee did, in fairness, right? They were pretty brave in going 1-for-1, but man for man with us, but they didn't have the players whatsoever. And they're getting beat at home to Ayr tonight, by the way, with 10 minutes to go in the cup.
Brilliant. I was hoping Ayr would beat them.
Yeah, definitely. So I think it benefited us playing. Like, remember last year we played Falkirk a couple of times at home under O'Neill, just as he came in the door, sort of thing. And it's a perfect team for us to play at the time. I think Kilmarnock playing that way was ideal for us last week as well because it just really opened the space up and gave us the ability to show off the talent that we've got in the team with the new players coming in. So I think everything just dropped into place for us last week.
It'll be interesting, obviously, getting on to it Sunday, Dundee United, because they were actually half decent against Hearts, but Hearts end up running over the top of them. But they look as if they're trying to play football, and I think it could be good for us again.
Yeah.
You know, because if they come to us with the spoiling tactics and whatever, you never really know what's going to happen. But I'm just fucking brimming with confidence about tomorrow. You know?
But I think you've got some different styles now, Jason. See, with the low block and whatever, or the deep block or whatever it is. I mean, you know, who can give us a bit of a target in there, and we can actually put the ball up and try and work off him there, where we didn't have that at all last year. We had no physicality in the team whatsoever, apart from when Iniacho came on, you know, he was brilliant when he played, but he didn't play very often, which was a problem.
Right. So the point I was going to make earlier, I think maybe a decent time to discuss it, is where does Camilo Duran fit in the team?
Well, he doesn't look like he's completely as effective as he probably should be on the right, and he's not a winger. He's more of a kind of busy guy in the box, which would make me think. I know, but like, I mean, we have a number 9 in Høgh. So does he become a feeder for Høgh? Where does he go? I mean, do we play 4-4-2?
I don't think so. I don't think in this day and age, I don't think you play 4-4-2. You know, it might come back some point, but I mean, at the end of the day, if you get the best players and you play 4-4-2, right? But if you play 4-4-2, your two midfielders need to be fucking top draw, you know, because if you're playing the wingers, so I don't think it works. But the thing is, for me, is it going to be, because we've now got Hussein that's come in, right? And you would think Yang as a winger. So you've got Hussein and Yang at the minute. You've got Jota coming back. Is Duran going to be on the bench, and then you take Høgh off after 60 minutes and bring Duran on?
Or do you put in a winger and then make Duran some sort of a kind of more forward false 9?
I don't know.
Go on, Jason. I'll come back in.
Because Nygren's that guy.
I know, but Nygren's a bit more creative. Whereas I think Duran's more instinctive. His finishing's great.
I think Duran's a great number 9.
I know, but are you going to switch him for Høgh?
No, that's what I'm saying. So where does he fit in? I don't see where he fits in.
I know, but I think he looks good enough to not be on the bench for a start.
Aye. But as I'm saying,
but he's clearly not a winger.
Right. So say Big Hussein's going to play. He's going to nail his. Seen the left wing.
I thought it was right wing. I thought
right?
Sam was on the right. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I could be wrong, but I thought he was right wing.
I thought he was right guy.
Right. Okay. So he's in the right wing. Yang, I thought was better in the right wing, but I don't know. So is Yang going to be the one missing it, or is he going to keep playing?
Well, that's to be seen, isn't it? Really?
I know. It's interesting. It's a good position to be in.
Aye, Hassan's a right winger.
Aye. So, but the thing is, for me, right, we've not had a strong bench for long and weary, and it's a team game now, not a squad game. So if Duran is on the bench and you bring him on after 60 minutes and take Høgh off 60 minutes, I would be up for that. I don't know if he would, but at the end of the day, and then it's a competition between the two of them.
Exactly.
And then they can switch, you know. If Duran comes on, bangs a couple, who's missed a few, and he's starting number 9.
Where's that put Osmond then?
And you know what? I was going to come to that, right? Because he came on at Kilmarnock near the end, and I felt so sorry for the kid because I really rate him, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he needs game time to progress, and with these two coming in, it's going to be limited. But I hope they keep bringing him on and keep giving him game time. Because I think he's got all the tools. I think he could make it.
I see. That was I'm with you, Jason, because I kind of had this fear seeing that, going like, is this guy gonna become the fucking end of season Tony Watt from fucking season 25, 26?
I mean, he's still young, and he's only like.
I know, but like some people are known for one thing, and I kind of feel bad about that. Going like, he's definitely got the ability. He's got all the attitude. He's got all the skill, all the fucking like ethic. you're going, this guy could go far, but like, is he going to get clouded out by a fucking?
Nah, well, even the now, right? Tony Watt, everybody can only remember him doing one thing at Celtic. There's nothing else you can remember. Not another. Could you tell me, Liam, or you tell me, Joey, anything Tony Watt done at Celtic apart from scored against Barcelona?
Well, that's kind of the misfortune of massive achievements.
But can you tell me anything that he did apart from that?
He scored plenty. He could go to Celtic. I couldn't name one.
I know, but nothing jumps out. But straight away with Osman, you've got the semi-final at Ibrox, the semi-final at Hampden. Or the fight was it the final? I'm losing the plot here.
Semi-final against Rangers.
Semi-final. Semi-final. We go, and obviously they go to win the league. So there's two things. So he's after a flyer, but he's been right unlucky, with the injury, and he's come in. But this is what hopefully top clubs do. Do you know what I mean? So you can't be resting in your laurels and hoping that he comes good. But I hope they still give him plenty of time, because obviously the amount of games we're going to have to play this season again, fingers crossed that we qualify in the Champions League, that we're going to need a squad. We're going to need a squad, and he's going to get game time. But that's my point. Do we find a place in the team for Duran to play with? Who? I don't know.
For me, I just think we need to strip down the calling them wingers all the time, right? Because it's not wingers as in the old way of wingers before. Hog the touchline, get chalk on your boots, whatever it was. And you've seen it with Liverpool, Barcelona, all the big teams. They kind of just play three strikers, don't they? Three strikers. Some can play left or right, and some can play in the middle. Miada's shown that he can play in the middle, but he prefers to be out left. I just think Duran and Osman, players that have got genuine burning pace, they should be able to play anywhere across the front three. They shouldn't be restricted to playing that centre forward thing. Forrest is a winger, right? But he's pretty good two-footed. He can kind of cut in and do stuff. But Jota's a winger from being a young player. He's come that way. But Osman's young enough to mould into just a wide forward, and Duran looks like he's got enough of the attributes, but he wants to be the striker. But I'm quite happy having two expensive strikers fighting out for the place.
I'm also encouraged by the fact that Duran came in and looked like a guy that was like a penalty box poacher and they're making like great finishes, but has also now been put it in the right and is still quite a fucking dangerous asset coming in, hitting the crossbar, coming in. I'm not saying that what he's doing looks like he's struggling or it's bad. He's contributing a lot, right? And he's clearly adaptable. Which
seen Sunday when he gets subbed, but the full fucking away end, because it was good that he gets subbed at the bit between the Kilmarnock fans and the Celtic fans away for the dugout. So he walked right behind the goal, and the full end stood up and fucking cheered him, and he gave it so he's cemented himself as a fan's favourite as well, But because I think I've got big expectations for him, so I hope.
I think our frustration comes from we've got a supposed expectation of how he should be utilised, but again, what the fuck do we know?
Exactly.
I mean, we've seen the guy play two friendlies going this guy's in the box, he can fucking score goals. And at the end of the day, somebody sees him training and going do you know what? This guy's a surprise package. Just put him out here and let him fucking, make these moves, go in there and learn this ability, learn this strategy. And I'm very excited by the unknown in the talents that we're seeing. That's what I love.
See if you look at it this way, right? In a few weeks' time, we could have Høgh, Duran, Jota, Hassan, Yang, all these players playing for three positions up front. Forrest in the background as well. That's really strong. That's what we want. Got 5 or 6 top players there just playing for those. Imagine Jota back to his full peak back in that team.
Aye. And do you know what as well? Celtic can sign, I didn't realise this, we can sign another 2 players.
Yeah. 2 wild cards, yeah.
Aye, 2 wild cards. Aye. So I would assume these 4 have been registered to play in the European game. You would think.
Yeah.
Would you reckon?
Hope so.
Did you see Fozzie when he met Bauer?
No. Oh, a big hug.
Aye, but he was talking German to him.
I didn't see that. No.
Aye, Fozzie's fluent in German. Aye, because he worked over there, didn't he?
It's good. Is it his first language? Because he can't speak fucking English.
Fucking hey, you. Fucking hell. I'll be telling the boys in Laura when you're up fucking. The boys feel little Tipperary with chatting your brother, Laura.
Yeah, fucking hell.
I've told
The
them
quick
all,
brown fox jumped over the lazy dog.
Lockheed's my favourite place in the world, mate, where I've not got the dodgiest accent, so I love it up there.
Here.
A guy from fucking Birmingham fucking coming up with accent.
Is it just me or is Lockheed one of the hardest accents to grasp hold of?
Ah, it's madness, man, madness.
Do you know what? I can totally understand it because I've been mates with them all for 20 odd years now, but it's fucking bonkers, man.
Because I've spent loads of time in Scotland and most of the dialects I can kind of figure out. See, I was at a Kano dance one night. I don't know who you put me in contact with, Jason, that night having chat, and I swear to fuck, I must have caught some of the function words and of and but. And that's about all I picked up. That's about all I picked up. I was like, what in the fuck is this called? Where's this going? Is it the rolling hills of vocal fucking speech? I was like, what the fuck?
So it's the only place in the world that I found out, right? Obviously, I've known this for a while now, but right, so you know a roundabout, Joe?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what they call a roundabout?
What?
A circle.
we call it an island.
Do you know what? I like that more than fucking roundabout.
What do you call it in Birmingham?
An island.
An island.
An island.
All right.
Yeah.
Aye, they call it a circle.
I thought you were going to say that there. That's what I thought you were going to say.
Fuck me, a circle.
Islands, aye. Can I get that? Aye. But aye, they call it a circle. That is a circle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Essentially it is. I mean, a basic premise it is simply a circle. You can also call it concrete if you want, or grass, or fucking signage.
Aye. I'll call it Jim. Just call it Jim. You can name them. Jim, Tony, Wally.
Like hurricanes. I can name your roundabouts like hurricanes.
In a city that has got words like oos and stank and all that sort of stuff, man, you can't be slagging circle. Come on.
I've never seen it. I've never heard the word stank or would you other one you said?
Oos.
Yeah. Oos, what's that?
Juice.
Like
no.
Fluff. No, is it like fluff or something?
Aye, we call that as well. But that's an old folks thing saying that here.
Ah. No, I'm talking about Glasgow, not Dundee.
Right. Aye, right.
You've got your own language down there.
I mean, they're all words that fucking. Listen, we've got a guy here that fucking clapped a cat, right? Fucking, you know, fucking.
Did I ever tell you about times? I tried. See, when I was studying linguistics in UCD, right, fucking years ago, I tried to explain the word hingway to a linguistics class, right, and it just didn't land. So I was like, oh, my favorite word. What's your favorite word? I said, my favorite word is hingway. And they're like, what's that? I said, it's a Scottish word that kind of applies to pretty much anything. I was like,
did you not seen the stand-up guy? I can't mind the boy's name. He says, what about this? If you're from Glasgow, he says, walk into a shop, you say, here, pal, you hang to it.
No, but I just love the fact that hingway can substitute. And hingway's like a scratch on a record that skips over because like, information you don't need to know. It's already in context. Going like, so I was down the shop talking to a man and the fucking with a hingway, and then you know I'm like going like, but it also applies to going like, oh, I had this thing was a hingway. I go like, I fucking love the fact that this can substitute any single fucking noun, verb, or anything whatsoever. It is like, it's amazing. So I tried to explain like a linguistics lecturer, and he's like, "Oh, never heard that." I was like, "Well, there you go. Maybe I'm smarter than you. You can't."
Yeah. Who were you with? I was with Hingway.
Hingway.
Oh yeah.
Hingway. What are you doing? We're down the Hingway. Oh, fuck the Hingway. Right. But for years I thought it was Hingme, right? But then I was talking to John. It was Jason and John. I was feeding John this pish, right? This fucking Hingme thing, and he goes, "It's not Hingme, Joe." He said, "It's Hingme." I was like, well, there you go. Is it hang me or hang me?
I think it was the first one, but I'll let someone Glaswegian.
Does it change in terms of fucking regions? Like, because I thought it was hang me. I thought it was hang me. Then it was told it was hang me. Right?
No, hing me. Definitely hing me for me.
All right, well,
what are you saying? No, it's hang me.
Is it hang me? Because your John told me that it was also pronounced hang me.
It's M-Y. H-I-N-G-M-Y. Hang me.
Hang me. Hang me.
Hang me.
Hang me.
Aye. And you always say, you know, big hang me. Some guy, if you forget his name, you know, but aye, big hang me.
It's the fucking Swiss Army knife of words.
Aye, and then, but that comedian hit her on the nail. He's walking into a shop and say, "Here, mate, if you got a hang, you hangs with."
And they go, I do. Have a hang me over here.
They're a coat hanger. You get hang to hangs with.
It's all since I was a kid going to Scotland with my cousins and stuff like that. But I had Scottish cousins going like, this is the maddest word in the world.
Hang me. Brilliant, man. Love it.
I mean, people go through full conversations without actually identifying who the people are, and it just flows and flows. It's brilliant, and it's so natural.
I tell you, when I started working my new job, it was in lockdown. My boss was a Cockney, so I've got the work voice on talking later. So I've been talking to him for like 2 years, and me, Sean, Big Cookie, Con, went down to London. It was Everton were playing Arsenal last game of the season at the Emirates. So we get tickets and we all goes down, and Big Adler's met us down in London, and he was on that stout chat. See that pub he was in last week, we all met there, just south of the river. And so I'd said to the boy Tim that I worked with, that my gaffer, I says, look, I'm going to be in London. I says, you want to come and meet us for a couple of pints? He's like, that'd be brilliant. So we heads down the Saturday morning, it was scorching. Went out Boozer, Big Adler's is there. Fucking class. It's me, Cookie, Sean and Con had been on the pints for early doors. The game was on the Sunday at the Emirates. We're 2 nights in London. So he gets to the pub and Tim's there. He's like, all right, Tim, how you doing, mate? Fucking great to see you. Jives, class, mate. Oh, I've not seen you. So next time we get the pints up, we're still in there. And I'm not hanging because I'm fucking been on the bevy for fucking early in the morning. Right, so we're just starting blaring away. Tim's just standing next to us, and everything's normal to me. And Tim's pulled me to the side after about 10 minutes. He says, Jason, what the fuck are you saying? I'm like, he says, I've been fucking standing here for fucking 10 minutes. I've not fucking a clue what you guys are talking about. I'm like, all right, Tim, sorry, mate. I'm thinking this is how we talk normally. I said, but I'm on the fucking calls to you. That's not how I normally. Fucking hell,
you're giving it the how now, bro. Okay,
fucking hell, mate. That's a fucking different fucking language. But you don't realise it, you know, until you're fucking in that. You're not full of drink, you and your mates, you're just fucking rabbiting on shit.
No, do you know, it's one of them things. I think it's when you culturally and contextually meet somebody from another culture, like your similar culture, your fucking accent just changes. Like I remember being in a car going to a gig in Dublin with some musicians, right? And like people fucking wouldn't necessarily hear me speak in a fucking thick northern accent. We pulled up next to a fucking car full of Armagh cunts going to Croke Park. Our windows down. I was like, yeah! I started chatting away to them, fucking full on northern. And then I drove down through the lights and I cut to the car going like, what just happened? I was like, what do you mean? She's like, you just started speaking in a completely different language there for about fucking 5 minutes. And I was like, really? Then I said, like, what the fuck happened there? Like, I was like, it's just me talking to the northerners. Like, I was like, that's how it goes. I mean, like, but you don't see these things in yourself, right?
No, but see, obviously, when I go to the Basque Country as well, with Eusebia and all that, mostly speak English to them, right? And you have to culture it, because if you spoke the way you spoke to all your mates in the pub, they wouldn't have a fucking clue what you were saying.
Aye.
You know? So,
Look at us, culture vultures. This is the most cultural fucking podcast we've done.
Do you think we culture our accents on this? I don't think so.
No, God no. I think I am more unlistenable on this podcast than I am in actually any part of my life.
But see, like when we're talking to Johnny Owen and stuff like that, I think I do kind of change it a wee bit.
We diction it up wee bit, so we do.
You have to really.
We better diction, because man's a professional fucking broadcaster.
Aye. There you go. So what we talking about?
Got a question for you. A question for you both, right?
Your own question or from the listeners?
No, from me.
Okay,
I'm a listener. So I had to reword.
You're an analyzer, not a listener.
Yeah, I was going to say, have we ever? But I'm not going to say that because the answer will be obvious. When was the last time we had a pair of fullbacks as good as Alistair Johnson and Kieran Tierney?
Oof, that's a good question. That's a really good question. As good?
They are tremendous, man, as a pair. Absolutely tremendous.
Well, Tierney clearly stepping on this season too.
Yeah.
Is obvious. Alistair Johnson, I mean, his work ethic and energy is unbelievable.
They're very similar. Like when you think of it physically, they're pretty similar.
I know,
like,
but
strong.
Here's my thing, Liam. Right? I can think about loads of fullbacks that went forward really well. I can't think about as many that came back as well as they do.
Liam, I would actually say, well, obviously Lisbon buys before.
Well, that's why I didn't say have we ever, right? Because that was going to be the obvious answer from everybody.
Aye, so that's before my time. You're talking about Tommy Gemmell would be probably one of the best ever.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm not thinking about those kind of standards. I'm thinking like I thought Stephen Mahy was a great fucking.
Aye, he was. You're talking about Jackie McNamara, and you're talking about like, I mean, who Matt Reid. If I think back in my days, right, Anton Rogan, I mean, never. No, in my lifetime. No. And it's a great point you make. It's something I've never even thought about, but the two of them are very similar.
A lot of them had the dread. A lot of those players had the dread, but they didn't have the talent that we're looking at when it comes to like Johnson and Tierney.
The two of these are, and by the way, see some of the Everton fans, the comments when they were talking about signing Alistair Johnson. Jesus Christ, man.
2 World Cup players, Jason. 2 World Cup players.
But I think physically they're similar. I'd say Johnson's a bit better, not a dribbler, but like he's good at kind of getting round players a bit better. Tierney's delivery is fucking top notch, man. More so than Johnson.
I think Tierney's really good at getting by players as well. But I get what you mean with Johnson. But see if Tierney puts his head down and he goes for it. He's got
one move, Jason. He's very good at that kind of drop the shoulder shuffle and get space. That way, Johnson comes a bit more mazy sometimes. Even inside,
he's like free flowing, like no bother. He can run both ways, with the ball sort of thing. Tierney kind of doesn't. He kind of stops more. But
do you not think Tierney's more better suited to just staying on the lane and be slightly coming in instead? Because back in the day, he was always coming in deep into the box and coming in. I think he's better just staying on that lane back and forth and then coming in slightly in the final third.
I don't know. I think Tierney's one of our best goal threats in the team.
Yeah, you're right.
So
I mean, he forced that save against Kilmarnock because he was right there in the box waiting for the ball to drop.
What a shot he's got on him as well. He's got confidence as well in the box. But I mean, I think we're blessed that he's a Celtic supporter because we would never have him. Do you know what I mean?
If he was from fucking London or fucking Manchester, we'd be fucked. I mean,
it was a big worry with everybody. Me myself, no with injuries, but he looks fucking touch wood, right? He looks as if he's tip top,
Yeah. So the reason for my question, I thought it was a good question, right? Because when I started to think about it, I thought, fuck, I'm not sure we've had a pair together as good as that, right? But a lot of criticism of the defence still, or a lot of people saying we need this and we need that, right? See, Johnson, Carter Vickers, either or of the two at the left, and Tierney. I think that's probably as good as we should ever expect to get. Well, not ever expect, but in this day and age sort of thing, that is really top level. And I know there's a lot of injury kind of concerns around them and whatever else, but see if everyone's fit, that's a pretty high level defence for us.
Oh, big time. I've said that for forever on this podcast. I really rate Scales, you know, and I think big trustees coming into a game as well.
Yeah,
you know?
Me too.
And the Carter Vickers, he looked dodgy in the pre-season friendlies, etc., but obviously as expected. But he's top class if you get him fit. But it's obviously will he be fit for a period of time? But he is a proper general there, you know.
Yeah.
You know, but I would agree with Liam. I think the defence is like, and people have said concerns with the keeper and that. I think the keeper's really good, but I would definitely want us to get another keeper in.
Yeah. I think you've got to give him a chance, right? Because see, if we brought a number one in now and put him down, right, he's just going to leave because he's done his time at Villa, he's done his time at Celtic, right? He's had his opportunity. He's not really let us down. Maybe the odd game here and there, but I think one thing that Høgh has really brought out is remember don't freak out, Chase. Remember Schmeichel's first season. His distribution. Like he's probably probably the best passer of the ball we had in the team.
Schmeichel's first season, he was brilliant, guys.
That's what I'm saying. But see the way he was pinging like 60-yard balls to your like fucking pick your toe where you want the ball to land. I think with Høgh in the team who could actually kill the ball and bring people into play, Sinisalo hasn't got that distribution with his feet at all. Like so that's probably a little bit missing there. But just reflecting on the defence, I think if everyone's fit and can stay fit, that is. We talk about buying Champions League players or players for the Champions League. Right? We can't buy Champions League players, but that's probably as good as a quality we could get for a back four, in my opinion. And I think it's really pretty high for our level.
It's a great point. I totally agree with you. You know, I hadn't even thought about it with the two fullbacks. I don't think ever. I mean, let's face it. See when and obviously right back Danny McGrain, right? So
yeah.
Straight away, but Mark Reed was on the other side. So that's the two. I'd say the two of them are better. Danny McGrain's better than anybody, right?
Yeah.
But you didn't have a left back that was.
Yeah.
Tommy Gemmell was gone, but if you put Tommy Gemmell and Danny McGrain as a fucking left and right back, then you get but that didn't happen. But two of them together.
Jim Craig, was he like more of a steady Eddie sort of thing, more of a solid defender more than anything else?
Never seen him, I was too young.
People don't talk about him in a kind of romantic way. Maybe that obviously Tommy Gemmell scored the goals, which is always going to give him that different level. But just some of the just
Tommy Gemmell, to be fair, took fullback to he was the first attacking fullback in the world, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe the Brazilians would disagree with you, but it's a great point, Liam.
But it just stood out. It stood out to me at the game because I didn't go to Killy last week, right? And usually, so I was trying to be sensible, working Monday morning, whatever. But so watching the game sober on TV is a completely different experience. Joe, that you probably have most weeks that I don't normally get. But like we I think we shaped up quite differently. We had McGregor and Engels were kind of side by side start point. Then we had four attackers together. And because of the way Kilmarnock were playing quite aggressively, as soon as we won the ball, we just had all that space. But we weren't really playing with wide players. Like Yang was coming in and Duran was coming in. But you can do that when you've got, and going back to our earlier point about playing wide forwards, when you've got the quality of Tierney on one flank and Johnson on the other flank, you can kind of do that. You can concentrate all your threat in the middle of the middle of the forward play sort of thing, because them two can take a side of the park each, can't they?
Without a doubt. And we spoke about it in our chat. It's been a blessing for us, Johnson getting the injury. It's the kind of that obviously he misses the last game, but the chances are he would have been sold before then. I don't know how whatever team was in. But that aside, he's going to get fit once the transfer window's over and we're going to get him till at least January. And if you're selling him in January, you're going to get top dollar from.
Yes, 100%. Aye. It seems kind of cruel to look at it that way, I mean, but it's perfect.
Aye. And we know he's not going to be with us much longer, but he's still got, like, you talk about, he's got a 4-year deal left. You know, so Celtic would be well within their rights to saying to him, stay with us for another year. And then, but we know how it works. If there's heavy money coming in and their mind's turned, then you kind of need to let them go because it's no doing you any favours keeping them. But he doesn't seem the type that would throw the rattle at the pram. But you never.
Yeah, I agree. I saw that tweet the other day where saying his wife had a farewell party. Well, I don't know how much truth there was in that because it seemed to get deleted after.
People talk loads of shit. I mean,
exactly.
see unless it's about actually what's going on with him and his contract or him and his fucking fitness. I don't pay attention to that fucking pish. I mean,
it seemed like it's no been a hamstring this time, lower leg.
Yeah.
Said.
I think I said in the chat again. I don't know if you noticed at the game, Jason, but he did it. I tell you, Joe, you might have seen it. He did a mad sprint in the first half. I mean, a proper athlete 100-meter sprint, right? And I was like holding the side of the chair when I was watching it because I was expecting something to explode, but he didn't seem to have any reaction from it. But it was and he didn't even need to chase the ball, right? It wasn't like it was an opening or anything. He just decided to chase the fullback down for the ball when he was a proper pelt man. So whether it was that triggered it or not, I don't know. But I would want to keep him over Engels definitely, and that's no slight on Engels at all. But I just think, the drop off in quality when AJ is not playing is massive for us.
He's also a guy whose attitude comes across as being you'd want to be around.
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah. Because, we'll probably come on to it now, but when you look at the squad, right, I think we've really freshened it up at the top of the pitch. I'm trying to be super positive about the defence. I think it is top level for us if everyone's fit and available. And midfield, I know we definitely need to freshen the midfield up, but we've still got lots of good quality in there, right? We've got lots of similar type players, I guess, and not physical players, but we've got pretty decent quality in there, that just needs a bit of topping up. I think we 1 or 2 players in there, and we need to see what Bowie's going to give us just now. But we are starting to shape a decent 14 or 15 players here, which may be enough.
Is there not something about this sort of transforming period that excites everybody? I mean, there's something. I always feel like that part of what being a Celtic fan is kind of these moments going. Where's this going? What are we going to see next? What are we going to see?
We've had one for a while, but I definitely. Yeah. I think for me, sorry, Liam, you go.
No, just before you go, Jay, just to say, if Engels goes, that's 17th player. I know a lot of them are lone players, right? That's the 17th player to leave this summer. And you got to think Atati's going to go, Balakwisha's going to go, Kenny's going to go. So, we could end up with 20 players out of the squad from last year. That is a big transformation.
By the way, there's rumours that Balakwisha has gone for 6 or 7 million.
Wow, imagine that.
Do you know what? I would love to be his agent. Tell you that.
Celtic have got a fucking knack of getting fucking good money for fucking donkeys.
Listen, if that happens, Michael Nicholson is getting that statue. There's no right. I'm going to start that fundraiser for it.
Somebody somewhere has stepped in and went, "I'm taking over, son. Taking over the joystick."
Surely that can't happen. But we'll wait.
Unreal, that would be.
I don't know. Maybe we've underestimated the long game of Michael Nicholson. Maybe I don't know.
The Atati one's kind of purple. They've not really heard much chat about it or whatever. And it must seem like Celtic would be kind of easy to deal with because, as it stands at the minute, Martin Hill, he's well off the picture. And seemingly, I heard a rumour it was because they threw the dummy out once he gets subbed one game. Then he just went right down the peg. No, I don't know if there's any truth.
Which is, I was talking to somebody in Belfast about this the other week in the Casement pub, and it's like, what a bizarre twist in someone's career. He was, see, after that game, when there was no fans for the midweek game against the Rangers, remember the 3-0 game? Everybody raved about that guy for months. He was a star. We went to Leipzig, Jason, and they were singing songs about him. And it's just gone to complete pot. And it's hard to kind of get your head around.
It is. I put a thread in the huddle board after the cup final, right, and got kind of half agreed and half slaughtered. But he came, like the team came round where I was in Hampden, and he just was like totally detached from everybody, just kind of trailing behind everyone. And I just felt a bit bad for him because I thought he has played a decent part in the last few years in terms of success there. And I tried to start singing his song, and everyone just kind of completely dinged it. But a lot of people quite rightly come on and said, look, he's brought it all on himself, really. You know, it's obviously 3 managers have felt the same about him ultimately at the end. So there must be an attitude problem. I think there is. Been a few stories surfacing in the background, but look, it is what it is. Just move him on now. Just, you know, if he wants to go, he come out and said he wanted to go the first day he was back in pre-season training. So just find a way and get him out.
I know.
Yeah, it's a bit of a fucking sad end to what was a blistering kind of moment for him. Again, he was hot shit for a couple of years.
It was brilliant. Like on his day, he was up there with, you know, the best that we had at the time. I always think the thing, I've mentioned it before, but he didn't start playing professional football till he was 23.
Somebody hasn't got that kind of like fucking rejection model built into his fucking psyche.
Which, I don't know, just it's quite a lot.
I know. That actually kind of makes sense, Liam, to be honest with you, because like, I mean, playing football from your fucking 9 or 10, you realize that football's a ruthless fucking game about rejection and being told you're good or you're not good. If you start playing 21, maybe that doesn't. Maybe you kind of haven't built up the resilience of the kind of, you know, the coarseness to fucking deal with that.
He just struck me always as a player that had really high standards for himself, and if he didn't meet them, he kind of got down quite quickly. You know, he didn't have like a very strong mentality in that regard. But I mean, that's just totally second guessing sort of thing. But it just, I don't know, didn't seem happy like as on the pitch very often. But a really talented player, really good player. But look, he's had his time. He's done brilliant for us. He's won plenty. Just finding the right club. But it's quite telling that there's been no offers at all from what we can gather.
Kevin Gallagher says in the chat he was the Japanese Negron. Ain't got some fair to Negron.
I rate the guy highly.
Joe, when it comes down to it, what's the benchmark of any player? He never once stopped for an autograph all the times I was there with Zoe, so I think it's time to go.
Do you know what, Liam? You've committed. I'm done now. That's it done. See film stuff for kids. Wrap it up the fuck. Andrei Shevchenko stopped for kids.
Exactly.
That's what I know.
Exactly. There you go.
And nobody else noticed the cunt. Anyway, what were we? Fuck my head away.
We probably need to talk about transfers, and we need to talk about our beloved friends across the water too at some point, I would say.
Okay, so do we laugh at the Huns first and then talk transfers, or do we do transfers first and laugh at the Huns and see it out?
Let me go for a pee first and back a minute.
Right. So he's going for a pee. We'll do a vote, the two of us. Right. So laugh at the Huns first, which is definitely something we're going to do, or discuss transfers. I think going out on laughing at the Huns would be a good way to land the podcast.
I think we need to console them, mate. We need to reach out for them now. You know, we need to be worried about them.
And
then laugh at them.
Again, I'm thinking about the service we may do to them in terms of, you know, being a bridge. I mean, I'm building this off the fly in Belfast the other week, right? Where all the cultures came together.
Looks so orange. Good, man. So I'm going to come over next year. Is it the same time every year, Joe?
It's every city gets it for 2 years, so it's the same time. Liam. Between that and the fella, Liam, the fucking city was on fire. Fire.
Menzo is going to come.
Went to a kneecap gig with my kids on the Thursday, and fucking my wee lad's first concert, and it was fucking outstanding. And in the Falls Park where I used to play football with my mates and stuff, and fucking hang out and drink cider. Yeah. It was fucking absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. So like Like the Fly was a good example of like, you know, all the cultures kind of being brought together because they invited like flute bands to play. I mean, because essentially it's an Irish fucking music fucking expression fucking festival.
Exactly.
And for fair play to them, they came and they played. And you go like, you know, this is what it's meant to be. And it's one of them moments you're going like, fuck me, we're on the right path here. Something's really changing here. Something fucking, and it's not by force. It's by osmosis. It's by exposure.
It needs to be.
And that's kind of going like, you know what, fucking, it's one of them things that makes you think. Do you know what? Do you know when you pay attention to the fucking like the media and stuff on the internet, and you go like, oh, where's going to fuck? And then suddenly you're in an actual real life situation. You're like, do you know what? This is going well. This is all going the right direction. This is good. This particularly is going well.
Joe, you know yourself, man. There's so many public gatherings now, and it's conflict. It's like negativity. It's you know, it's bad stuff going on. So good to see so many people gather and just want to party, enjoy themselves, and you know, try not to have any division there. It's good, man. It's what you need to see.
Fucking incredible. Letting loose. Anyway, my point. What was the point? Are you back, Jay?
I'm back.
There you go. We're just killing time there till you get back. What are we talking about?
We're going to cover just what we think transfer-wise might happen still, and then we'll have a little look across the water, I think, before we finish.
Okay, so I've been kind of in the dark with all this transfer stuff. I'm just kind of riding the crest of a wave of what we've signed and no to take much interest in what's possible. So I'll leave it to you guys and I'll just listen with intent.
Fair play. Good man. That's incredible content.
Well, I've no clue. The only thing I said was that Hungarian goalkeeper for Blackburn that I've read, and then that's about the only thing.
No, we're talking about the actual signings, like the ones we've made.
Oh, the ones we've made. Sorry.
I was going to talk. We can do both. I mean, we can just talk about transfer business in general.
So there we go, Joe. I was with Lee and what he was actually trying to achieve here. You were not.
Listen, this podcast is all about synergy.
So you're fucking slating of me was fucking uncalled for because I got the memo correct.
My job on the show is to goad you.
Aye, right, okay. Aye, and it's worked. So as I say, I've no clue about the end. All I knew was that potential Hungarian goalkeeper for Blackburn.
Let's have a run. Let's have a run then. So I think we're definitely going to have to sign. We're going to have to sign one goalkeeper, aren't we? Right. So whether that's an equivalent to Sinisalo or a better or a understudy, I don't know. The boy from Blackburn, Jason, sounds like he would intend to be number one if he came.
Well, see, to be fair, I think that'd be unfair in Sinisalo. You know.
Yes, I agree. So maybe we're just buying someone that's equally as good. That you're not kind of degrading the team if he comes into play. So, and you're just going to let him fight it out. You know, Sinisalo's got the shirt just now, but you need to see what happens.
But as we say that now, right? See when they get to the professional terms and they've actually made we had the conversation earlier on about kids making their way in football. Yeah. But I think once you get to the professional status and you're in, you're playing. So you're playing with Blackburn, with a team that's not got much likelihood to get promoted to the Premiership anytime soon.
Yeah.
And you're coming to Celtic and they're going to be paying you more money and you need to fight for a first team place, you probably take it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, goalie's a weird one. I mean, like Ross doing, right? People probably slag him off. Scott Bain, why would you want to go to Celtic for 3 years and play 3 games? Well, Scott Bain probably earned enough money to set himself up for life. Do you know what I mean? And now he's back playing for Falkirk or whatever. So it's a bit of a weird.
That Gordon DL said in that Open Goal podcast, his dream fucking job would be a fucking third place goalkeeper on good money.
Yeah. Well, no, but exactly. What was the boy? Scott Carson? Was that the boy who won a couple of Champions League medals with Man City and maybe Chelsea? And I'm sure it's Scott Carson. And there's obviously there's the old quiz question about which goalkeeper won 2 European Cup winners' medals back in the day that not many people get.
who's the goalkeeper that won 2 European Cup winners' medals back in the day?
English goalkeeper.
Notts Forest reserve keeper.
No, it's Jimmy Rimmer.
Jimmy Rimmer. All right. So he obviously won one with Villa, and then he was.
I think he was with was he not with Man United or something right at the start of his career?
Right. So, but they didn't win one. They only won the Busby Babes one until they won later on.
I thought he'd been in 2. So yeah, he was with Man United in '68 when they won the European Cup.
Was he?
Yeah.
Right, 68. Right, that's the Busby Babes.
Yeah, he was just a kid then in that squad, and then he was.
No, that's not the Busby Babes. Yeah.
No, they were the 50s. the Busby Babes.
They were the 50s. Sorry.
Yeah. But 68 when they won it.
Celtic, right? So he get the medal then he won it for Villa.
And then he played the first 10 minutes or something for Villa, and then he come off injured in that final.
That's right.
Nigel Spink went on. Yeah.
Okay,
so,
yeah. Yeah, you impressed that I knew he won it for Villa.
Yeah, that's good. Not many know that he started the game. Yeah, started and come off injured.
There you go.
So we'll have a goalkeeper to sign at some point. I don't think we'll sign a right back. Is my prediction.
Right, here's the thing. We've not even spoke about it. Donovan, right? Obviously, we've got Anthony Ralston. Is it? He's your journeyman football player that's fucking happy to play with Celtic because he's earning good money. And fair play to him. And fucking plays at a World Cup. And he kind of never lets us down. You know, he's always fit. He's always there. He's not the best player in the world, but he's decent. I do believe he's decent. I don't think he's a terrible player. But Donovan, I like the kid. I think he's good, but I think he's still raw. What do you think?
It's an interesting question because of the fact that like two of them are like kind of both very different stages of their career. Donovan's kind of at the start and Ralston's kind of not necessarily at the end, but definitely at the latter stages. I think Tony Ralston.
He's in the middle of his career, I would say. That's what, 27, 28.
Well, he's at his peak then. And if his peak is being a part-time player, Celtic.
He's hardly a part-time player. He's played at a World Cup in Scotland. He's fucking.
No, well, like is he first time on the sheet? No, he's not. Right?
He's not part-time. He's a professional football player playing with Celtic. That's available for selection whenever.
No, I don't mean part-time football player. I mean part-time. Fucking, why are you fucking picking through my fucking words to fucking find fault? You fucking dick.
Exactly.
My point is right. Is you would look at someone like Kobe Donovan, who looks like a better actual football player when it comes to the game. Whereas I think Ralston is more of the reliable football kind of stalwart. That's why they call him the brick, I suppose. I
would probably pick Ralston ahead of him when it comes to these qualifiers, personally. I think he's quite raw, Donovan, still.
I would agree with you.
But Ralston was also raw at one point.
Yeah, but that's what Jason's trying to say. He's 20. He's reached the peak of his development, Joe. Right? Probably he's mature as he's going to be as a footballer. I think that's what he's trying to say, right? Because of his age and the games he's played or whatever. Donovan's a lot more inexperienced than him and a bit more naive, I guess, at that level.
But how do you get experience without experience?
He's getting the experience. He's playing games, but
I think last might be the time for Ralston to come in. I would kind of agree with you.
What was really interesting about it, this is going to be a fucking bit of a side spout. The podcast you did with Brian a few weeks ago when he mentioned about the B team rules, about the players who play 5 or 6 first team games can't go back and play the B team, was fucking insane. Because that's like I've never heard of anything that would stifle development more than that.
That's a segue, but it's got fuck all to do with Ralston.
I know, but it's just something to do with Donovan.
I would agree with you. It's just fucking the insanity of Scottish football.
I know, but like players like like Donovan. I mean, he's probably in that kind of area at some point.
No. Donovan's pushing for the first team, so he's not one of the back to any B team shite.
I know, but again, he's in that grey area where he can't do either. No,
Joe, I think it's designed to stop using that team, just first team players and chucking.
I understand. I understand that. I understand that.
The threshold's probably wrong, right? That they're picked there, but I think that the idea is to stop players just jumping down and getting game time. It's to develop players, not to keep players.
It did make me wonder. When I was listening to it, going like, I mean, like where does the development start and stop? Where are the possibilities? And like Ralston is a phenomenal, like hard worker, and you got Donovan, who's a potential, and like where do you meld the two?
But I think the B team question with they two is that's irrelevant because Donovan is now a first team player.
Yeah, and he's getting plenty of opportunity as well. He's getting plenty of exposure there. The question is, Joe, who are you feeling most comfortable with for the game against Lask on Wednesday, right? So a lot of people probably would say Donovan, but for me, I just think Ralston's a bit of a steadier pair of hands in there just now.
I would kind of agree with you, Liam.
Well, you trust him more.
Yeah, for a big game, I think so.
I think so as well. His experience as well, with Scotland. He's in the big occasion, and he's played well in some Champions League games. So.
Yeah, but the only other, I think the fact Johnson's out for 4 or 5 weeks, then that means we're not going to sell him, and you're not really going to buy a first choice right back to replace him. Well, they're going to be back pretty soon. Unless you buy that boy, was it Sigger, the Canadian boy that can play kind of midfield or right back? You might do something like that, but if you've got Ralston, Donovan, and AJ that's going to be there, you're not really going to go out and buy a brand new right back. I don't think. I think you're just going to have to take the hit on the qualifiers and hope to get through with those two boys.
And the thing is, as well, you sign somebody new, it's another risk. Say you're putting Bauer in at the midfield to take our angles, right? And you're going to play Hussein in the right wing. These guys are going to have the most one game before they play, and then you're signing another guy that's actually got no games, and you're going to put him against Lask. It's not going to happen. So for the sake of this qualifier, we're going to go with Ralston or Donovan.
And what will be interesting is tomorrow will tell us, because Ralston's not played hardly any time at all. I don't even know if he's played in a friendly yet. Maybe played in I think he come on in the one against the last one. We played against Milan. I think he played a little bit of that.
As well. Right.
Yeah. So the point being, Jason, unless he starts tomorrow, whoever starts tomorrow is going to be the starter for Wednesday, aren't they?
Definitely.
So that'll probably tell us that one.
I'll be honest with you, I like Donovan. I think he's got upside, and I think he'll become a good player. And he's good at getting up the wing, and he's got a fucking fair engine on him as well. But Ralston, I would agree with you, he's maybe a steady Eddie. He's got an engine as well.
Yeah.
He can put a good ball in.
I think the question is, if AJ is staying and he's going to be fit, or you hope he's going to be fit, then you either sell Ralston or let Ralston move on and you give Donovan the development time, or you keep Ralston as backup and you get Donovan on loan and get him some, more game time with a different team.
I don't think they'll do any of that. I think they'll keep them.
I think they'll keep both of them because of the injuries around Johnson.
Exactly.
To be honest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No danger will there be ending them away. I think they'll be there.
Yeah.
But you would think Ralston, he's not one I don't think he's one to go. And he's a steady Eddie, but where's he going to go? You would get English Championship, he would get that, but does he want to do that? I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
I love having Ralston as your backup right back.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. He's always fit, he's always there, always available. I think he's a decent player.
But we all love him because he's delivered. Always.
This is going to be one.
Right, let's move on. Centre half. I don't think we're going to sign any centre halves. I think we've got I think we've got 4 decent players there. I think Murray, you might have argued you could have kept Welsh maybe and let Murray go out on loan for a season or whatever, but I think those are the 4 that we're going to have for the season.
Yeah.
Don't see any movement there at all.
The only thing there could be Trusty could get sold.
Yeah, spot on.
Yeah,
spot on.
He would get interest. And
it will be interesting to see. I do think Scales will play tomorrow somewhere, whether it's left back or centre half, just for fitness wise. But Trusty's done nothing wrong really in the 2 games he's played, and Scales was brilliant last year. So it'd be interesting to see who partners Carter Vickers moving forward.
I think what they'll do, Liam, is they'll play with Trusty at the start with Carter Vickers, and if everyone's going well at half time, say with a goal or 2 up, they'll bring Scales on.
Yeah.
I don't think any of them will be playing left back. Scales will play left back around. I don't think that to me wouldn't make sense.
I just think they will want to protect Carter Vickers and Tierney at some point if they can. Whichever way they do that. So, but maybe game time is what's going to benefit them. Rather than kind of protecting them.
I get what you're saying, but Tierney, because he obviously played the 90 minutes at Coman.
Yeah, we'll see.
Game, but I think if Tierney's fit now, it's like, oh, what? Just play 90 minutes.
Yeah, no, it's fair. That's fair. That'd be interesting. Midfield, we've got. I know everyone's cracking up about getting more midfielders in and not defending the board, but we've let Bernardo go, and we've got 6 first choice midfielders there still. Obviously, Engels is about to leave, and Hatate we're expecting to go.
Right, but let's talk about this because Engels is off, right? So he's no playing.
Gotta get a beer, one second. Carry on.
Right. So the way I look at it, Engels is off, right? He's gone. So he won't be playing. Hatate's so far out the picture, you can't see him getting a chance. You never know in football, So that's 2 of them out. So you've got Calmack's in, you've got Bauer that's come in, and then you've got Luke McCowan. And so Liam says 6. Are you back, Liam?
Yeah. So you had
right. So you've got Bauer signed. You've got Calmack's playing, right? So he's playing. You've got Bauer. I would think he would come in. You've got Luke McCowan there. You're not going to play. He's not going to play Hatate because he doesn't play him. So he's out of the picture. I don't think there's any chance he's playing Engels. Who's the other one?
Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Oxlade-Chamberlain. Sorry. So he must play tomorrow.
See, this is a thing. So, again, going back to that cancelled game thing, and not to be like a broken record, but Oxlade-Chamberlain, we've signed him, but he's fucking hardly played any time. I don't think he's come on in either game, has he?
Not seen a hang.
He didn't even come on at Coman.
Yeah. And see, like when again being at home watching it was different, but see when we brought McCowan on and Forrest, I'm like, what is the point of that? And like McCowan went and scored with his first touch, right, which was the point. But you're like, Oxlade-Chamberlain needs time in his legs, right? And Osmond would surely get much more benefit coming on than Forrest would. Now you could argue one's a winger, one's a striker, going back to our earlier discussion, but just found it quite frustrating.
Surely you're going to play Oxlade-Chamberlain for the start tomorrow.
Well, this is my point. I mean, I've had the same view about the League Cup forever. We had this conversation last year. I remember it in the game. I would change half the team, but I know we won't do that because we're on a roll. We're playing well. You
need well, Oxlade-Chamberlain for a start. If you're talking about changing the team, he's got 100%. To start because
for me, 100%.
He's got to play midweek.
For me, he does, but I don't see that he's just on the periphery. I don't see him that he's going to feature at all. It's a lot to ask him to jump in right now for these big games.
So then how? So fast forward to next Wednesday. How do you line up in the midfield then? Hatate's out the picture. Forget him.
Well, Negrin's going to play the advanced roles. There's 2 behind him. McGregor's one of them. It's just who plays next to McGregor. I hope it's not McCowan.
Well, that's my point.
Yeah.
So
unless they think Bauer's good enough straight away.
So I think Bauer will play tomorrow. So I think that's dodgy. I think, see, Oxlade-Chamberlain, I think that Champions League game would suit him down to a T.
But he won't play Bauer and Oxlade-Chamberlain tomorrow with Negron in front of them. He won't drop McGregor altogether. McGregor will start 100%.
Honestly, the Ox is kind of dropped out of my thinking. Honestly.
But why did we sign him then?
I couldn't even think him there when I was thinking of midfield.
Yeah.
He did not come into my thought pattern.
Well, we had see everyone's cracking up about signing midfielders. But up until Bernardo left, we had 7 first choice midfielders on the books, and that's before Bauer came.
Honestly, my thought pattern is like, what's next? Who's coming? What's happening? How are we moving? What's the difference? And if the Ox can make a difference, fantastic. But to me, at this point in time, the way I think things are moving, he's a stopgap from the last season that maybe might necessarily not be as important this season.
So here's the thing, right? Why did they sign again, right?
But that's it.
Right,
probably has a great agent.
No, but the thing is, do they love it that much that he just says, well, this might be my last season, and I want to spend it there, and I don't care how much they pay me?
Where else is he going to go? Where's he going to go?
No, that's my point, Joe. So it is the reason he's here is he was absolutely easy to deal with, and he's took like a massive wage drop or whatever. Because guys like him would be earning, he'd be multi-millionaire. Right?
If he's a smart man, he's got plenty of dough.
And his missus fucking loved it up here. She was never off social media saying how much they fucking loved it. So was maybe he just saying to Celtic, look, I'll take fucking $5,000 a week or whatever, just fucking sign me.
I wouldn't say he's done that.
No, I don't think so. I don't think
number-wise, but it feels that way, doesn't it? Because he hardly played at the end of last year. He's hardly played at the start of this year, and that's my point, right? You know, players like him and Osmond and others. Where do we get them game time here? There's no reserve football.
I know, but it's a really good point you make. Just like, I mean, I suppose at the end of your career, like you could be somewhere shit, having a horrible time, just fucking, just going like, fuck, and let me just pick up the final wage, or you could be somewhere class, and then pick up a final wage and go like, at least I fucking landed well.
Aye, and it's like one of them ones. He maybe just fucking blew him away last year and loved it, and just says, look, I'm not going to be hard to deal with. I want another team.
This thing, see the concert around the town having dinner. Doesn't matter who's playing or not. Concert grabbing, going like, yeah, fucking legendary. You know what I mean? Right. So why wouldn't you want to be around that shit? I would.
Aye, and like his missus, obviously, she's fucking social media daft, and she's
at the festivals with the fucking hoops on.
Aye, she's
with a fake D-head skate, fucking the wrong colour of green on a fucking new top.
Was it? Aye. Match worn. I've got a wee Austin Trusty match worn tap here, by the way. Guess you know what size he wears?
What?
Medium.
Fuck off, does he?
Aye, the oddie. Aye.
Skinny cunt.
Right, let's finish this little transfer roundup off. I think we might sign one more wide player as well. That's my last. I think if Engels goes, we'll sign at least one more midfielder, if not two.
My fear is Yang. I've got fear for Yang. That's my thing.
Are you actually new in the thing, Liam, that this Celtic board is operating in normal circumstances and doing what they should be doing?
Yeah, well, we've said that. That's what it appears to me.
I know. They've given us the bare minimum of competence, and we've all went, fuck me, amazing.
I've got my doubts.
Look at these geniuses. Finally, they've landed on common sense. Get the fuck. You know what? I started this podcast off going like, it's amazing what's happening. See, at the end of this podcast, I'm going like, you know what? It's the bare minimum of what should be fucking be done. And don't be fucking blowing smoke up your own fucking hole because you think, oh, we've bought these fucking players. The market's the market.
Hold on, go back. Right. So I've said we're definitely going to sign another keeper. I don't think anyone disagrees with that.
The Hungarian from Blackburn. I just tagged the boy from Blackburn.
Whoever. We'll definitely sign one more left back at whatever level. I don't think anyone disagrees with that. We've said no more centre halves, no more right backs, right? I'm saying if Engels goes, we'll sign at least one replacement for Engels, which I think that's too far-fetched. I'm saying I think we'll probably sign one more wide player. So it's only 4 players. It's not. I don't think it's that two-way out there.
It's exciting, isn't it? I love it.
It just depends whether they're squad players or we get some more first teamers in. That's probably the question.
I know, like in 2 weeks' time, we'll be sitting here going like, "Ace cons are shit." But I doubt that. I do doubt that.
You qualify for the Champions League, and
I think Høgh has set a kind of a bar so far.
What about if you qualify for the Champions League and you get like a Matt O'Reilly back on loan or something like that? A real big ticket.
Nah, he's not coming back. I've seen that interview that he done. He's fucking had his time here.
We're not going back, Liam. We're going forward, Talbot. We're going forward.
What if we get? What if we qualify? Get one big ticket number, one big Premiership loan or whatever.
We do not need
one big ticket number, one Premiership loan. So Premiership loan means the guy cunts fucking stinking the place out down there. Fuck off.
No, not necessarily.
We need no. Stop with this. Stop with this fucking backwards. Liam, stop. We need forward thinking. We need positive blood. None of this going back.
Get Patrick Roberts back. Paddy Roberts.
Exactly.
Get him back for a third time.
Paddy Roberts back.
You know what? Where's younger Danny?
Well, let's see where we end up transfer.
Jack Marcus up to.
Do you know what? I'm going to America in November. I may talk to fucking Nevada. If you want, Charlotte.
Well, you didn't. I mean, all joke aside, he was a great player for us.
He was a smashing player for us.
But you know what? He was never really a first team. Like, you know, once he played, he did all right. But
he was amazing sneaking into the box for a goal, though, wasn't he?
He was. Great player.
Nice playing Charlotte to the FC.
We should do it on a podcast, not this one, but another one. How many players have actually left us and bettered themselves?
I've said that for years.
Fucking hell, man. Hardly any, like a handful.
Do you know what? Here's a better question. Which ones have left us and gone off the cliff faster? Because I think Gary Hooper is in that category.
Tons. Fucking, he's the last one with the thought.
Who's the first?
Who's the first?
I always thought Gary Hooper would go on to great things, and he went on a Red Bull fucking Dave tour.
Went to Norwich, didn't he? And just fucking flopped at Norwich, I'm sure.
But they went to Australia.
Did he? Right, I don't know. Be interesting to look at some of our bigger transfers and go through them all and see.
Oh, Scott McCurry's in. Hang on a second.
Well,
Scott McCurry's here, and he's obviously had pints as missus, and he's in the dark. And he
piece of shit, McCurry. Hello?
Piece of shit. Fucking last up, Larry. Here we go. What do you want to talk about?
Joe, go fuck yourself.
That's a given.
I take it you've not been listening, Scott, or else your wife's fucking a masochist.
No, she just went to bed, mate. She just went to bed. No, she went to bed. So we're up early in the morning. So I thought I'd jump in and see what you are all losing your head about.
We are currently on the final stretch we're about to laugh at the Huns, right? Which you'll enjoy. We also want to know, we're thinking of a bit of podcast about talking players that left Celtic and bettered themselves or the ones that went off a cliff. I just mentioned Gary Hooper being my biggest disappointment of a guy that left Celtic and went down.
Bad decisions, but I mean, Gary Hooper was a guy. I reckon Gary Hooper could have went fucking anywhere and he would have scored goals. I mean, it was interesting hearing some of his ex-comrades have said he just didn't expect him to miss, and that was the same. That was the same with us. I love Gary Hooper, but he picked the wrong decision, didn't he? But by all accounts, if Celtic had flung the door he decided and Celtic wanted to buy in. So, well, I'll tell you, I've got it in my head, right? Well, there's a bit of flaws in my logic, but so I heard the start of the show before I came down the stairs and sat with her. I think Tisdale has caused chaos within Celtic. I really do.
I mentioned that you mentioned.
You did, yep. I believe, right? I'm trying to put. I'm putting 2 and 5 together and get 19 because Celtic don't fucking communicate nothing with us. I liked your opening. I have to admit, boys, I agreed with fucking everything all you said with regards. Celtic have backtracked to the point that we're now lauding them for doing what they should be doing every summer. We're now lauding them for doing their job. I always remember you, Jason, telling me a story about how you went in to kind of look over people in somebody else's work now to kind of evaluate them. And it was a woman who was staying late because she was doing fuck all during the day. And that was that I was sitting there going, it's a fucking good, because I think so we spoke in the past about Brendan Rodgers go Engels, you go Ida, you go fucking go for the one, and we went to America and we battered everybody in Sundry, and it led to a fantastic season for Celtic. I mean, obviously it fell off at the arse up. However, I think it was around November we brought in Tisdale, and Tisdale again. This is all based on hearsay, rumours.
But the timelines work out.
Yeah. So Tisdale came in and we all heard the rumour. I think the rumour was pretty good. That Tisdale came in with this fucking great 33.33333. Do you know what I mean? So all get everything that comes in all gets split up. And then we heard down the line that he had went to a meeting with the Global Celts. And I'd never heard of the Global Celts, but the Global Celts turns out it's like anybody's got a bit of dough and stays fucking no here. They all have a big meeting and and he says to them, Celtic are in the top 100 clubs in the world. Now, and that all ties in with the fact that you've got to look at all the players we bought down the line. We bought fucking cunts who just weren't good enough for Celtic. Martin O'Neill walked in the door the day that Tisdale left and he went, people need to remember who Celtic are. That's a fact. Martin O'Neill said that. People need to respect who Celtic are. As if we're fucking looking down ourselves. We're up there. And ever since, it's almost as if since Tisdale came and he went, we've kind of resumed what we were doing. Because the Engels thing, I mean, so we all try to put common sense to the logic. Do you remember the theory of, well, Dermot Desmond's no happy we bought Ida and we bought fucking Engels and blah blah blah. I mean, Engels is a perfect example of what Celtic should be doing. And the irony about Engels, in my opinion, and I don't know what you boys think about this, I would like your opinion on this, that injury last season being a basket case stopped Engels from being what he could be. Do you know what I mean? Like Engels' first season, I thought he was good. I thought the next season should have been a kick on, but obviously last season fell into fucking an absolute shambles. But I don't know. I don't know if Celtic have fell in the trap with Tisdale and it took us a big, massive step back. And now we're kind of back on track. I don't know. That's just kind of me putting 2 and 2 together. As I say,
it makes sense. But
I know, but my question is that course correct on purpose, Scott, or is it by fucking complete and utter fucking random luck?
I don't know, Joe, right? Because she be honest, right? I generally all us guys together, we're all supporters of the collective. As me and Jason and spoke last week, I think the collective's kind of, it needs to take a step back to go forward. I don't think the collective is done because I think the collective needs to stop being a what's the word, a protest group, and now it needs to reform to be a pressure group.
Conflict versus collaboration.
Yeah, right. And we need to kind of now go. But so we've seen that our fucking overlord, because no matter which way we've all seen the badness in him. The badness come out, and that badness hasn't gone back in the bottle. So, I mean, we all know it's there, and we saw it. I mean, because let's be perfectly honest, can any of you guys, long in the tooth that we are, there's no young cunts sitting amongst us. I can envisage all this happening again in 4 years' time.
Oh, aye.
If they pull the same push.
Aye, well, nobody's going like, the sun's come out, it's all over now. Nobody's thinking
No,
that.
exactly. But Joe, the frustrating thing is there is a whole load of people who are kind of going, well, I told you, because that's the way of the world, isn't it? Nobody's won out of this apart from I mean, like, because the collective are kind of getting put down. As I sit here the now, and I think I speak for all yous, the board has kind of done themselves a fuckload of damage in the last year. All they needed to do was kind of put their hands up and go, right, by the way. I mean, I think Martin Hill, not only has he saved us as he did last season, I think, and I could be wrong. I mean, I think Celtic come out and go, see, we tried something and it never worked. See if Celtic come out and say that, I'd go, fuck me, that's brilliant.
Accountability goes a long way, doesn't it?
Yeah. But it seems that they don't. Well, this is all down in yous. You know what I mean? What yous all about? And you're like, fuck off. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, because see the way we're acting now. See if we'd done this last summer. There comes a thing. Because I mean, like, we spent £10 million after we were fucked out after Almaty. And again, I stress the worst result I've ever seen in my life. Do you know what I mean? Because, like, you can talk about Nostalgiamax and all that. That's not a touch on Almaty. Almaty were garbage. Genuine garbage.
That's fair. And you could, if I actually trolled through the record books, I'd struggle to get a worse one, to be honest with you.
No, I don't think so, Jabo. And don't get me wrong, the manager takes a heady bit of blame on it.
But
of course it does. But
in hindsight, we all pieced 2 and 2 together and get maybe 7. But we all agreed with Rodgers at the end of we fucking hated him when it happened. But then after all the shenanigans of last season, we always thought Rodgers was probably in the right. But I still wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him.
No, 100%.
So there's still a bit of debate about everything there that we know. But the bottom line is Rodgers was a good enough manager to manage the players to beat Kyra Almaty, regardless of what was going on in Luke's. At the end of the day, if he loved Celtic that much and he wanted to,
we spoke about this last week, Jason, and I agree with you then, I agree with you now. But I do think in the cold light of day, see, maybe it'll come out in a couple of years. I think the Tisdale thing's more embarrassing to the board than the collective stuff in the cold light of day, because I think they've
bought some football voodoo off this dude.
I mean, well, did you? I mean, obviously, with the Aston Villa fella come out and they fucking say, I can't believe anybody fucking fell for this. And I think there is just major embarrassment that a guy sold us a big lot of pish.
They've been hoodwinked by a fucking guy.
But the fact of the matter is, I say the fact, I take that back, I retract that straight away. The story goes that when Kyogo left, Brendan Rodgers was offered Shin Yamada. He watched the tapes and went, he's no good enough. And then I think it was like 2 weeks into the fucking summer transfer window after we signed Shin Yamada, and Brendan Rodgers went, fucking hell, what's happening? So when you think about it, you've said no to somebody, and then they go and get it. They've obviously backed him or Rodgers. And you then if that's true, you then kind of go, well, I get why Rodgers is gone.
Aye.
Fuck this.
What am I
These
doing?
are all,
The question
these
is,
are all a
what-
bunch
what
of
am I doing
wankers.
here? What am I doing here? What is my job?
But to answer your question, you started this with Joe. You all said the pertinent point. Does a board deserve lauded for doing their job? I don't think so. It's like
Exactly.
Jason. I know what you do, Jason. Your sales were doing fucking 40% last year, and you've got them back up to where they were the year before. Do I start going, fuck me, Jason, you're brilliant? Or do I go, do I pat you in the back and go, welcome back to the team? Right.
Should have
Next year,
fired you last year.
next year, I want better. That's where we should be sitting here. We pat them on the back and we go, thank you, but see next year, fucking do it right, or you fucking will tell your boys. But the thing is, though, what the collective done, in my opinion, the collective showed that we could come together. It wasn't for a long time, but we've proved we can do it, and they cunts need to know that we'll fucking tour our boys again. I mean,
But listen, the collective impact was real, right?
yeah.
And that's all that matters.
I mean,
Do this, do that. Doesn't matter what it did. What it did was made Celtic realise when these people really aren't happy, come together.
Yeah.
They will take from you.
Yeah. I think so. I think the collective deserve a lot of credit. I think they do. I mean, like, there'll be people who fucking done nothing. It done fucking a lot.
That's wankers online.
Yeah,
wankers online or wankers online. See anybody in the actual sphere?
Pay a lot of money for that.
I mean, fuck. I mean, people are actually fucking people like you, Scott, who are face to face, touching skin. I mean,
right, but when we talk online again here,
I mean, you realise then, like, big collective impact is real.
No, I mean, we spoke again. We touched on the collective last week. In my opinion, I don't think you can't fucking say not an our penny and then give every cunt gives £1,000, £2,000 with tax or whatever. And that. I mean, I don't know. But again, I think in general, I think collective worked. It was a good indicator that should we come together, we have a voice, we have a power, and we're getting a reaction, aren't we?
Mhm.
But it's good times. I mean, we spoke about it last week, didn't we, Jason? That when we started the podcast off by saying, be honest, negativity is draining. It's fucking draining. It's a horrible place to be, especially when Celtic's your relief. We all speak
It's
about
a
it.
vampire emotion.
Mate, will you think about it? You're fucking working all week. You're fucking cunts are nipping your head. Your veins are kind of annoying you and all that. Going to the football was originally the relief. It was a relief for everybody. It was to kind of allow you to fucking go, vent your frustrations, but go and watch your team, show a bit of love with people beside you and all that. And then you were going to it was last year. I took no fucking joy in it, Joe, last year. It was hard shift. Ended up tremendous, but it was hard shift. So this year, I mean, like we spoke, see that Kilmarnock game, how good was it? You boys over there, how good was it to be stoning that game, enjoying it? It was brilliant, man. It was genuinely brilliant, and I can't. I'm not going to go on it again because you guys already spoke about it. I agree with everything you said. The big forward gives you the energy to fucking enjoy football, doesn't he? You know what I mean? A big boy who seems to appreciate you. You know what I mean? Doing all that fucking love heart piss, you know what I mean? I hate all that shit, and then I saw him doing it, I was like, he's some man. It's I hope we don't have to. I hope those within Celtic Park aren't sitting there with big cups of wine going, I told you they'd off online. I hope they kind of go, well, let's make sure that doesn't happen again. That would be my hope.
But lads, that's where the hope may kill you.
There's where the hope, because I've got a fear that it seems to be a 4-year cycle, doesn't it? That we're fucking back throwing inflatable sharks.
I think it's kind of one of those things that permeates through any job. It's like going like, once the pressure's off you, you go, thank fuck for that, and you chill, and then the pressure's back on some point.
But no, yeah, I'll tell you the irony of things, Joe, right? And I've not heard anybody say it, and if they have, I apologize. Not that any can listen to us anyway. But see, when Peter Law was CEO and he was doing all his chat, there was a whole bunch of Celtic fans going, no other CEO is always talking.
Aye, I remember.
There was loads. There was loads.
Remember that. Why is this guy constantly in the press?
Why is this guy constantly commenting? Why is he talking? And then we get Michael Nixon and says fuck all, and cunts are going, why is he not saying anything? But it shows you that he see Michael Nicholson, he needs to put somebody in, even a fucking mouthpiece. He needs to put somebody in.
Secretary of some kind.
Yeah.
But again, here's the thing though. But again, the very simple fact we've pointed that out, which is obvious for anybody in PR, it means that nobody at Celtic has said, do you know what? We need to shield this guy a bit. We need to kind of, mold his persona, mold his image, make sure the Celtic fans are agreeable to him. Nobody's come up with that. Nobody gives a fuck. It doesn't matter, right? It's like, they don't give a fuck, right? So you're going like, right, well, we're dealing with a bare face operation here. There's no nuance. There's no fucking actual kind of fucking, nobody gives a fuck about us or how we see it. It's like, hey, this is the guy. If he talks, he talks. Doesn't talk. Who gives a fuck? And you're going like, right, well, that's not really what we're paying for, is it, really?
Nah. But the fact is, Celtic need, no matter if we get fucking, what did you call him, Jason Hugh? You called him earlier on. I thought he was a Welsh guy. You were calling him.
About 8 times.
And then you corrected yourself every time.
Honest to God, felt terrible saying it. I'll probably say it again.
Ho, call him Ho every fucking night of the week. You've called him Ho. You've called Hassan Hussein all fucking night, right? And I have not corrected you. I'm just saying.
Is Hussein know his first name?
Listen,
Hassim Hassan is his name. People call him Hussein.
That's at least their worries. Fucking Liam called Dundee United. That's fucking terrible.
I'm not sure that's true. I'm not sure that's true.
I love it.
I'm sure that Liam, you listen back, so right. I'll accept your apology.
Roll it there, Roisin.
When I'm handing your Tanadici tickets over to you tomorrow, you can say, I'm sorry, Jason.
Tanadici.
You can have it, pal. You can have it.
Right. Laugh the hunt.
Oh.
Let's go. We've got 10 minutes left. Right. Where do we start?
Right. I'll tell you where we start. I thought, honestly, whilst, right, I'll put a wee caveat before I start. I didn't hate Derek McInnes. I thought Derek McInnes was a decent enough manager. I didn't think he was a great manager, but I thought, do you know what I always thought? He'll end up Scotland manager. He'll end up a good manager for Scotland. Right? Didn't get the hate. And then he went to Hearts.
Steady Eddie type.
Right? Went to Hearts and showed himself up to be a fucking rat fuck. Last season, I was like, there's nothing, there's no niceties about him. He's no the guy I thought he was, and he's fit by stank. And then sees the season went on, I started to think even less of him as a manager. I was like, he's no managing this right. He's no doing this right. And the fact of the matter is, they lost the league because of him. Albeit they get in the league because of him, but they lost the league because of him. And I was surprised Rangers took him on. However, I thought Rangers might have got a bounce after the hardness of him. I thought they would have I thought he would have dug in, he would have walked in the door and went, this is the way we play, and this is what we're doing. I thought they would have got a bounce off it. But fuck me, I love being wrong. I can't believe what he's doing now. I can't believe. I watched that game last night and see that mob were basic as fuck. And my God, they should have won that game. Oh, it was wild what he done. And see the Hibs game, Rangers should have won that game 1,000,000%. But I tell you what, it does leave me to think, what does St Mirren do? Because does St Mirren follow Hibs and kind of sit in and go for the counter because they're looking toothless, or do they do what the fucking Polish mob do and go to them because their spaces all around the shop? See the two centre halves.
I haven't got a clue.
Mate, I'd fucking punch the heat right off them if they were playing for my team. Because
midfielder and all, just playing through balls and to make on it, was going back to the goalie. You're like, what the fuck? There's no joined up, there's fuck all there.
Yeah, he's wild, Jason.
He's out his depth. He's fucking. He is worse than Russell Martin. A lot of them. He's fucking gone. Hasn't got a clue how to deal with that.
He gets it though. He gets it.
He's always managed a team that's had to fucking fight for what they get.
Push up a way, aye. Yep.
Aye, no, he's not got a fucking clue.
See if
he doesn't know how to punch down the way.
See if they can't beat St Mirren.
He's just like a guy that's blagged his way into a job.
If they can't beat St Mirren,
right?
He found his way because he found a way how to play against teams that were fucking better than them. And now he's been given a job up the ladder and he's fucked.
Yeah.
And it's great, isn't it? It's great.
Oh, it's tremendous. It's absolutely tremendous. I mean, I generally
culture over.
Not even a Marvin Andrews reggae session could fucking make this better.
What was it? Culture over strategy. One come out and make that statement, man, the Yanks.
Did not say culture eats strategy for breakfast or the other way around?
Culture eats strategy for breakfast.
Aye, let's do it. Let's do it. Fucking carry on, boys. Carry on. Culture.
My favourite meme was, we're going to need a Brunner Brug.
By the way, see another thing that's quite important. This, see all the moon howling quotes that folk are fucking bringing up for follow and all the Rangers websites about guys coming up with we were a Protestant club, we were the establishment club, we had a Protestant country, and now it's so eradicated and all that. They are 100% right.
Yeah.
I mean,
they are bang on the money, Jason. They are bang on the money.
Folk are going, look at these moon howlers. I'm like that. It's true. It's 100% true.
Jason, I was at a Feel and Fubble event, historical talk, on the Shankill Library. Me and my mate Pierce walked on the Shankill Road, and it was bunged. It was a Feel event on the Shankill. It was fucking bunged. I had to give my seat up. We just stand and said in the library, and I was like, never in my life did I think a Feel event would have a trip to Shankill, and it was fucking bunged. We walked in the Shankill, and me and Pierce was talking, going like, see this here? This has 10 years left. There's 10 years left before the youth just go, fuck us. Fuck us. The culture itself won't, be deceased. The bigotry behind it and the division behind it will cease to be a problem. And cultures will melt. and it's amazing to see, right? But the problem is, it's the people who fucking just cannot accept it that will be the problem.
But they have accepted it. They know deep down, they're no daft. And the thing is, the culture that they're moving into is a welcoming culture. It's not like fucking you'll be fucking ostracized. It's just fucking let's all just fucking live our life together. And let's
Here's the
face
thing.
it.
They were always right. The Fenians are coming. I mean, the Fenians are always coming.
But the thing is, I grew up in a Protestant country. I grew up when I was a kid. It was a Protestant establishment. I didn't get certain jobs because of my religion. That's all gone now. Everything's gone. That's all eradicated. So their status in society, where they had the establishment, they had the banks, they had everything in their fucking, everything was like
everything they believe in has diminishing social returns. Everything they believe in has diminishing social returns because nobody wants to believe in what they're fucking peddling. At the end of the day,
the Jews have got them on now. Just a wee joke.
But it's just
fuck's sake, Scott. Throw a fucking vapor into the banana pit. Me. Fuck's
sake. It's like the last throw of the dice is that, well, I'm not saying the majority of Rangers fans, but the last throw of the dice is all this reform and going ultra right wing and all this kind of shit. And it's like, what the fuck? Everybody in this country used to vote Labour. Everybody. Well, no, everybody. Tories had a load of votes. But then SNP came along, and then the Catholic vote, kind of a lot of it went to SNP, where it would always be traditional Labour. But loads of the Protestants in Scotland have voted Labour as well, because the working class community and people were just together. But the guys in the top of the businesses were always mostly Protestants in this country, and now it's all changed. And it's just like everyone's equal, and it doesn't matter what religion you are. You can just go on in life, and you can whatever. And the jobs in the shipyards, the jobs in all these manufacturing places, they're not there anymore. So you can't just get your kids jobs and that. So you have to work for it. Everybody's got to work for their own right to fucking have a status in society. You've got to study, you've got to do whatever. So everyone's equal now, because you need to put the hours in to make your money. And years gone by, it was all given to those that had folk in high echelon places in the country, and that just doesn't exist anymore. And what they're saying with their statements, that Scotland used to be a Protestant country and it was run by Protestants and whatever, and it was right. But it's not like that anymore.
These Fenians brought in equality, and we are not happy with this equality.
Well, the thing is, it's never going to get back to that, because it can't get back to that.
I know, but the overarching good vibe is that, like, I speak from a Belfast context, because like when I go up there, I see a lot of change, and the people that I know who have moved in and bled into like big wealthy Protestant areas have just told me, so like, we got educated, we got the big top jobs, and we moved in and we took over these areas, and we did it with an inclusive attitude, because we're not here to fucking divide. We're here to have a community, because that's what we came from. We came from community. Exactly. And you go like, well, that is the most human and fucking, inclusive idea you can lead with. And if you don't have that, then you're fucked.
And the thing is, my kids have been brought up in this country, and do they care whether anybody's a Protestant, a Catholic, a Jew, a Hindu, a Muslim? Not a fucking job. Nobody cares.
Does the community chats anywhere, does it?
Not even a thing. And that's amazing. It's an inclusive community that everybody, if you've got the best skills for the job, you get the job. That didn't happen 30 years ago. And the thing is, what's the problem with that? That's their bugbear.
Because it doesn't reinforce what they believe. And what they believe is
Because
Joe, can I ask you a question?
Go.
Before I go to my bed, can I ask you a question with regards what's happened the last couple of weeks? So a load of like the loyalist bands have been invited in, and a few I'm like,
Dead in the flat.
Yeah, no, I know, I saw it. That's my point. So, but right, what are they playing?
Whatever they want to play.
So I can't get this right in my head. So generally, as far as I know it, the stuff they play is anti. Is that still
Scott, you're misunderstanding the point of the fly.
right? Okay, well, explain it to me then.
The point of the fly is just cultural music. That's the whole point. There's no politics attached to any of it. None of that. The whole point of it is to go and play music. That is the entire point of the fly. Politics is completely removed from it. Like regardless of what they're playing, what you're playing. That's the whole point.
So right, okay. That just that doesn't connect to me, to be honest. That doesn't make
I
sense.
understand that, right? But that's why the fly is the fly. That's the whole. That is the entire ethos of the fly. Is it going like, play what you want? It's music. That's why it's called Fly Killed in Ireland. It's like the music of Ireland, the festival of music of Ireland. That's the whole fucking point of it. Like, go like, play what you want, and detach everything else away from it. All that matters is instruments and music. That's it. The politics is removed. When it comes to the fela, that's a bit different. Right? The rebel nights in the fela, like, that's different. But the fly itself, in terms of Belfast, it's a bit music, and that's all it is. And if you can separate that, then you're doing well. And thank fuck that the the flute band that accepted the invitation were wise enough to go, you know what? We see this for what it is. And there's a guy actually on TikTok called Ulster Scene, big in the loyalist bands, and he went to the fly and he put a big TikTok video up saying like, I would never go to something like this. He said, but I fucking loved it. He said it was people playing music in every corner. It was kids dancing, kids singing, kids busking. He said like there was loyalist flute bands, and I was like, do you know what? That is exactly why the Fly should be in Belfast, because that's the fucking if music's gonna bring any, if music has ever brought anybody together, Belfast, right? And here's one of my big points. See, when I was young, I was like 15, 16, when the rave culture kicked off, right? Belfast was a place that brought together two communities. Obviously, ecstasy and drugs played a lot, like, but do like techno and house music and fucking EDM. And I met people from different communities all the time, just engage in music. So Belfast was has always been a hotbed for that kind of thing, for that fusing of like two communities. And it's kind of really exemplified and really exaggerated through the fly. And if I go on rant there for a bit, huh?
No, but Joe, it's brilliant because it's kind of like here in this country as well. To see the young team here with my kids, well, I'm talking generally. Liam, you can talk, but you've got young kids as well. They don't care what religion anybody is.
No.
They don't care. They just go out and enjoy themselves and have fucking fun with people for every. The thing is, I did as well, right? It wasn't like fucking, it was a divided community sort of thing, but you always had your fucking mates and whatever. But the old school, it's like most of my mates are all Celtic fans. Like, absolutely, I go to Celtic games and that's just what it is. But see, my kids, they're totally different. And it's just like, and the thing is now, what your application, what you put into your application, what you put into getting your jobs and whatever, you'll be rewarded at the end of it. And there's no like fucking hand you downs for your father's a fucking gaffer at whatever gaff and whatever he gets your job there and that doesn't happen anymore. And I think the Rangers fans, they had that. Basically, they ran like the shipyards, they ran like certain industries, and I've tried to get a job in a few of them when I was younger. That wasn't successful because of the school I went to. That doesn't happen anymore. So that's what they're telling you when they put these things out, this Protestant culture that used to happen years ago in Scotland in a Protestant country, which it was. They're absolutely right. So suck it up.
God bless Kneecap. Let's go.
You know what? It's right.
Right, boys. Sorry, Jason. Go ahead, button. Right, boys. I'm off. All right.
Right. Fucking cameo. Oh, I felt pretty.
I've got to go to my bed, mate. I've got a flight in the morning. Good luck
where
to you.
Where you off to tomorrow?
I'm going out to see Marty tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a West Belfast date game, man.
You're going to
Fuck you, Joe. You were told about it. You said you might come up. You've obviously been full of drink, so screw you.
You're missing Tanadici.
You know what? I might actually be passing Belfast tomorrow, mate. So I'll text you.
No, you won't.
I fucking will be.
No, you fucking will not. Anyway.
I'd call you.
That was
right, okay, no problem.
Accent there, Scott. I like that.
Fucking me, fucking right there.
You sound like May McFatrick, you fucking freak.
I fucking Anyway, a pleasure, gentlemen. I'm away to my bed. Love you dearly. Jason, hope your team wins.
Have a good time, man. Have a good time.
Enjoy.
Fuck you, Liam.
Rid of him. Right, so our final laugh at the Huns. What has been your favorite meme? Your favorite fucking joke? My favorite one was Rangers season over before Martin O'Leeds finishes antibiotics.
For me, it's got to be Chief Orbo said the brogues are too heavy.
Brogues are too heavy.
Sensational. Honestly, that just completely creased me up, that one. I mean, like, it's really, we're talking about like, kind of culture and psychology and whatever here, right? And like, you've got a support that's obsessed with dressing up a man. It looks like he's wearing his dad's suit and these big ridiculous shoes, man. Like, it's going to make him a better manager. Like, why would you care what your manager wears? If he's delivering trophies, why is any of that important?
What's mad though? Their match day expectations of the manager is similar to what we do in communion.
Explain.
Hey, dressing up the main man in an entire fucking suit. I mean, every match they want the manager in a suit. Brown bros going like, well, that's what we do at communion. I mean, and confirmations, dress our kids up in the best of the best. I mean, I find it weird.
You look at last season, right? Martin O'Neill, 74, wore an Adidas tracksuit, and if it wasn't for the campaign, every man and his dog wanted to buy it.
Everybody wanted one.
3 versions of it, man. It's just, that's fucking amazing. It's so good.
There'll be a campaign to bring those back.
Oh man, honestly, it's really weird. It's really interesting, but the other one that really creased me up was that comedian that does the impressions of like Gerrard and Rogers and others. He did one today on What did he say? Derek, you've got bags on your bags under your eyes. Ryanair will be charging you for them if you get on a flight with them anytime soon. He does look ill though, doesn't he? He does look not good at all, man.
The best outcome would be, I mean, imagine this falling apart early doors, and we go and pump them.
But I'll tell you one thing, but see if it comes to September and we actually take 4 or 5 off them.
That's 4 weeks away.
I know. That could happen. At the end of the day, we could go out tomorrow and get beat with Dundee United and then Dundee United. I have it United. So we could go.
Which part of Dundee?
So who knows? It's the early days, right? It might fall apart for us. Who knows, right? But the signs are amazing for us personally. I think it's looking really good. But back to the point about the culture and everything. See the moon howling quotes that the Rangers fans are making on all the sites and all that. They're right. I mean, that's the point. I mean, people are going like fucking moonhowers. I'm like, no, they're 100% right. He's not agree with me.
The times they are changing.
Well, they've changed. They're gone.
Aye.
They're in the background.
Aye.
I mean, they need to move on with it. This fucking.
But don't you love it? Don't I mean? Listen, I mean, there's some sort of. I don't know. I don't know. Like we are obviously of the same kind of ilk as people. Like I mean, I look at young people developing and things changing, and I go, that's class. I love it. I love seeing that. I love seeing things develop. I seeing better things happen. Positivity, because I see positivity and progress, whereas they see we're losing something. I go like, nah, I don't look at it that way.
I could tell you some stories. I won't go into this podcast. I could actually, for a couple of minutes, Guinness, I could tell you more stories. Some job interviews I had when I was a kid, you know, and I passed fucking every exam to get to the interview. 40 interviews for 20 jobs, and I had the top man's name as a reference on it. And I went in there and they put me to make. Gave me the wee shapes that you put on, like kids put into like there's you've got a cube, and there's triangles going the top one, squares going in the middle one, whatever. And they made me do that, and I'm like, I've got a job here. I'm there dressed with a suit on, 16-year-old waiting for the apprenticeship, thinking it's a done deal. And then you get the Dear John letter through. And you're like, fucking hell, man. You're 16-year-old. And aye, well, that happened here, big time.
But here we are.
But here we are, 54 years old, looking back, saying we've came a long way.
Here we are on the internet, tell them no cunt.
Yep, and
something going on.
Continue.
Exactly. I mean, having a good time.
We're done.
I walked into this podcast going like the three of us get through fucking about an hour and a half. Now we're 3 hours, fucking 10 minutes in.
I know. Need to wrap it up to fuck.
Wrap it up to fuck. We covered loads and got fuck all figured out. Address world problems, social issues, football problems, strategies, and nothing will change.
Local dialects as well. We covered that.
Local dialects, Lockheed getting a lot of heat. I mean, Lockheed.
Around about circle.
An island.
Either I'll be welcoming Lockheed for a language lesson, or I'll be fucking chased out with a pitchfork.
But it's not just Lockheed, it's Dundee. So everybody heading up tomorrow, make sure you realise it's not a roundabout, it's a circle.
It's a circle.
Liam, what's your plans tomorrow, son?
I'm a bit more civilised than you, mate. I'm going to be getting the train up with the young Z-Bomb, and I think Mr. Kelly will be in the vicinity as well. So plenty of TCs tomorrow is the plan.
Train cans. I'll meet you
cans.
At the stadium. I've got fuck knows how many tickets to hand out tomorrow. Fucking disaster. But,
we are back in action then. Are we back in action?
Your bus is leaving at 10:30. But we'll be in fucking Lockheed for the back of 12.
Godspeed, mate. Godspeed for you tomorrow.
Disaster. Right, boys.
Folks, that was great, lads.
Enjoy.
Good fun.
Hello, guys.
Hail.
Yeah, folks.